Welcome into the Coastal Copy pregame show here with pitching coach Scott Murray. Scott, really impressive last couple of days for the pitching staff. Only one run allowed between the last two games. What do you think is a big reason for that?
I think the guys are getting comfortable with each other and getting themselves prepared for the game is important. It's not just pitching during the summer, it's actually preparing themselves for the future. And so they're really buying into that they got to work hard to get better.
Yeah, and obviously one of those guys that's been doing that really well is Frank Camarillo. You gave him the nod to start today. Previous appearance went 5 innings of shutout ball. What should the fans expect from him today?
Well, I think it's going to be the same thing. He's a guy that goes out and challenges hitters. He's not afraid to throw all of his pitches. And if he gives up a hit or walks a guy, he comes right back and challenges the next guy. So he doesn't give in. Frank was actually asked to go pitch at Petco Park last week, this past Thursday. And he threw to 5 batters, struck out 4 guys. And so he's that kind of guy that does not give in to anybody.
Really impressive stuff from Frank so far. Obviously today, Sunday, happy Father's Day, Coach.
Thank you.
Got a couple of kids, some grandkids even. I was going to ask, what kind of has parenting taught you about coaching and vice versa?
Well, I think it's understanding who they are and giving them an opportunity to learn their own being, which means, what kind of things are they proud of? What kind of things do they focus on? And making sure that we support them as parents so that way they are successful in whatever it is that we need to do.
Awesome insight from Coach Scott Murray. As usual, first pitch just a moment away. Stick with us.
Thank you.
Welcome to Santa Barbara for CCL Baseball on the Forster Network. The homestand will come to a close today for the Santa Barbara Forsters as they will once again welcome in the Philippines baseball group for a Sunday afternoon matchup. Hunter Shoemake alongside Nate Martin, and we welcome you to Santa Barbara High School. Well, Nate, the pitching was fantastic yesterday for the Stars. Second shutout of the year for Santa Barbara.
Absolutely, Hunter. And I think first off, very happy Father's Day to all tuning in. Obviously had a big impact on everyone here, giving them the love for baseball that we do have. But, back to your point about the pitching, there's a reason why we had head pitching coach Scott Murray on the pregame show. It's been absolutely dominant. 1 run allowed. Did a really good job, especially at limiting walks yesterday. Only 1 walk to 13 combined strikeouts. Really, really impressive day from the pitching staff. And the guy on the mound, Frank Camarillo, is a great guy to pick to continue that. His one previous outing on opening day against the OC Riptide. It went 5 innings of shutout ball, only allowed a 1 hit, struck out 3 batters to 2 walks. So really, really impressive debut, and now gets the nod as the starter.
And here's the lineup today for the Philippines baseball group. Nomar Vasquez to bat first. To bat second, JJ Fagfumsint. Batting third, Dylan Tagume. In the 4 spot, Ben Lee. The number 5 batter will be JJ Torrente. In the 6 spot, Owen Stevenson. To bat 7th, Hudson Story. In the 8 spot, the DH, Javen Baxa. And Tyler Pramonto will be in center field with Daniel Neria getting the start for the Philippines baseball group this afternoon. Just a few scattered clouds in the sky here at Santa Barbara. Much nicer day, especially since the sun came up this morning. No cloud cover. It's been really feeling like a summer day today as Nomar Vasquez will lead off for the Philippines and Frank Camarillo gets the start on the hill for the Sturs. And underway with a first pitch strike from Frank at 92, 0-1 to the third baseman, Vasquez.
Yeah, Camarillo got a 3-pitch mix. It'll mostly be the 4-seam fastball that kind of sits low to mid-90s, and then he'll use the slider as the off-speed to get some swing and misses, especially on the righties.
The 0-1 will be the slider for a strike. 0-2 to Vasquez, Fagfumsint, and then Tagume coming up for the Philippines. Remember, these two teams just met 2 days ago when the Sturs prevailed 5-1. Josh Heineman picked up the victory, and Andres Perez, the losing pitcher for the Philippines. 0-2 pitch will miss upstairs at 94, ball 1.
Yeah, and then that third pitch that you can see from Camarillo mostly will be to the left. It's a change-up. Looks like a fastball and then kind of gets away from you on the left-hand side.
Camarillo, 1-2 pitch. I'll miss away on a slider. Ball 2. Vasquez this season has gone 4 for 10, also 3 walks to his name. And just 2 days back was also in the top spot in the lineup, and he was the man of many walks. 4 plate appearances, 3 walks, but the 2-2 will miss way high on a slider, full count. That was a familiar story just 2 days back.
Absolutely, Hunter. I mean, he did a really good job, especially he got behind counts 0-2 a lot of the times and then came back. Was very patient, waiting for pitches to swing on, and paid off.
3-2 is back over the head of Frank Camarillo. Backing him up is Rulli, and the throw will get away from Caleb Hoover. The 2 middle infielders converge, but the leadoff man is a board. Now we can take a look at the defense for the Sturs. Easton Mumam will be at third. Easton Rulli is at short. Addison Klepsch is at second. Caleb Hoover is the first baseman. Cole Chamberlain is doing the catching. Maddox Mandino is in left today. Terrence Killen's center field, and Sawyer Farr playing his 5th position of the year out in right. So the leadoff man aboard to bring up JJ Fagfumsint. First pitch in there at 93 from Frank, 0-1. So Vasquez, the infield single to kick off this ball game for the Philippines baseball group, playing in their 6th contest of the year. Over to third base, Mumma has to back up. They have a chance for 2. Get one at second to first. Not in time. They do get the force up at Fagfumsint is aboard, but the Sturs record the first out of the inning.
Yeah, really nice play by Easton Mumma. You know, we talked about how impressive he is as a hitter, but he's been a really underrated defender over at the hot corner. He's done a really good job of turning plays like that. Unsuccessful that time with the double play, but really nice defensive effort from Mumma.
1-on-1 out for Dylan Tagume. Swing and miss on the first pitch slider. Strike 1. Tagume, 2. The 0-1 pitch, swing and miss. Back-to-back sliders for Camarillo to start off on Dylan Tagume.
And something that pitching staff did a really good job of on Friday was getting strikeouts, 11 combined. Starter Aiden Keenan had 6, so clearly can get some swing and misses from the Philippines baseball group.
It'll be ball 1 to Tagume. Fagfumsint at first, 1 out. Just underway here. Thanks for joining us on the Forsters Network. Nice Sunday afternoon from Eddie Matthews Field. Camarillo, 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, 92 on the corner. Tagume goes down looking, 2 out in the first.
And that's exactly, as I said, what the Sturs pitching staff did a really good job of getting fooling these Philippines batters. You know, there was a few times, especially towards the back end of a game, where they got strikeouts looking, really doing a good job of frozen up Tagyum there.
Swinging away on the first pitch is Ben Lee. Stands in with 2 out, man at first base. Lee this season hitting .364 in small sample size, just the 6th game for the Philippines this year. The 0-1. Over to Klepsch at second base, and is going to flip too short, and Rulli will get the force out. And Frank Camarillo gives up a leadoff single, but only has to face 4 in the first. Go to the bottom of the inning. Stur bats coming up next.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the first inning, no score between the Sturs and the Philippines. Here's the lineup today for Santa Barbara. Maddox Mandino will be in left. Batting second will be Terrence Kill in center field. Batting third, the third baseman Easton Muma on the cleanup spot. And at first, Caleb Hoover to bat fifth, and catching Cole Chamberlain to bat sixth, and in right field, Sawyer Farr, the seventh man. The DH, Brady Dallimore in the eighth spot. Second baseman Addison Klepsch, the 9-hole hitter today. The shortstop will be Easton Rulli, and the starter for the Philippines will be Daniel Neria, his second appearance and second start. Currently a 0-1 record, just through a couple games of this season.
Yeah, two-pitch mix. You mainly see a four-seam fastball kind of in the mid-80s, and then a slider break in towards the left-hand side, right-hand side on the camera. So
now batting for the
good,
Foresters,
solid arm. Wrapped up a year at Glendale Community College. But here's what I'm excited to see: Mandino back after an off day in the leadoff spot.
And we did see Terrence Kill yesterday hold things down in the leadoff spot. Kill to bat second. And here is Maddox Mandino to lead off for the Sturs in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch on the outside edge. At 86 for strike one to Maddox, who, according to Point Streak, hitting .381 this season. Going to take second pitch away to even the count 1-1. We say, according to Point Streak, of course, the game's still suspended. Not officially all those ABs recorded in the official stats, and also a game on the road, still saying in progress, not officially updated. 1-1 is flared out over the third base dugout. Strike two to Maddox.
Definitely hope we can get some of those scores in as soon as possible, because there are some guys who would love to see those at-bats count with some really impressive hitting performances earlier on in this week.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Mandino. Ball 2, missing upstairs 89 from Neria. In his first appearance on the hill this year for the Philippines, 3 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs. He walked 4 and struck out 3 in his debut for the Philippines earlier this year. It's now 2-2. Slider will miss away. Nice take from Maddox. Full count.
Really impressive take. I really do like watching Mandino's at-bats. He does a really good job of, forcing longer at-bats, and when he's able to make contact, he's off like a bullet.
The 3-2 line into left field, and it's a leadoff single for Maddox. Sturs pick up their first hit.
Nice job by Mandino driving that one
Batting number 2,
to the opposite
Terrence
side of the field, in
Hill.
between short and third. Shallow left. Good piece of hitting. Always really nice job to see, the Sturs batters go into the opposite field. It's so tough to deal with as the opponents.
Now here's Terrence Kill. First pitch will drift its way inside for ball 1. And notably, yesterday the Sturs, they won 3-0 over the San Diego Bombers, but only 2 hits. They were -3 in the hit column compared to what San Diego did yesterday. With the fantastic pitching. There goes the runner. Check swing foul off the bat of Kill. It's now 1-1.
And we know Mandino over there on first is looking to steal a bag. He's got some great speed, as I was kind of getting at earlier this past year at Louisiana Lafayette. 17 for 18 on stolen base attempts, which led the Raging Cajuns.
1-1 for Terrence Kill. Check now to Mandino at first. And you said it, Nate, the off day yesterday for Mandino, just to reset. Always nice having an off day when, especially you're playing 5-6 games a week, but his speed's such an asset to have on the bases. Main's 1-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-2 now for Terrence.
Kill another guy with speed. We've seen him use it on a couple extra base hits this year. Had a triple in his debut against Arroyo Seco. A double. Well.
Mandino in safely, and when you look around the CCL currently, Santa Barbara top of the CCL South, 5-1. Again, that's unofficial. Still a game to be finished up. But here's the pitch. That's a fly ball into center field. Primanto is there. And that is the first out of the inning. We can take a look at the defense for the Philippines baseball group. Nomar Vasquez is at third. JJ Fagfumsent is at short. Owen Stevenson is at second. Ben Lee, the first baseman. Dylan Tagium is the catcher. JJ Torrente is in left. Tyler Primanto in center. And Hudson Story out in right field for the Philippines baseball group.
Takes off on the first pitch there.
First pitch was a strike to Muma. That's going to miss away. At 80 from Neria on the changeup. And Muma, when you look at his point streak stats, he's got 9 for 20, 3 walks as well, so a 450 average. Man at second, 1 out. There goes Mandino going to third and sprayed down the left field line, out of play by Muma. Strike 1 rather, on Easton.
Yeah, I like that decision making right there to kind of just Muma swing at the baseball no matter what, and have Mandino try and drive in the first run of a game. That time though just went foul.
And it is 1-2 for Easton. Caleb Hoover will be next. 1 on, 1 out. 1-2 pitch to Easton Muma. Breaking ball is going to miss away. Good take from the third baseman for the Sturs. 2-2.
A couple times now, Naria's tried to backdoor of a slider, just missing on the outer half of the plate. They're really good vision and discipline from Muma to not swing at that.
Mandino at second. Here comes the 2-2. Inside, nearly hits Easton, spins out of the way, full count.
Yeah, I think a lot of people heard a little chorus of oohs to the left of me. They thought that one was going to sting Muma.
But the count now full for Easton. Mandino at second. Here comes the 3-2 on the delivery from Neria. Breaking ball is going to miss down, and Easton Muma is aboard. A 1-out walk for the third baseman to put 2 on for Caleb Hoover.
Batting number 14.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that Neria gave 4 walks the last time he appeared. There's something he struggled with. That's his first today. A really good job by Muma to get a longer at-bat. Mandino had a long at-bat in his AB as well. So good start so far by the Foresters to up Neria's pitch count early.
First and second, 1 away, and as Hoover will stand in from the left side. And stepping off is Daniel Neria, who did spend some time at CSU San Marcos down in the San Diego region. officially uncommitted to where he's going to play next year. Now in his second start with the Philippines. Waiting the first pitch to Hoover. That's outside of first base towards the first base on deck circle. That is strike one on Caleb.
And that's the thing about summer ball is that a lot of these guys kind of entering the transfer portal really maybe didn't give as much run as they would have liked at their previous school. It gives them an opportunity to kind of prove themselves to other coaches, whether that's guys in JUCO ball that are able to get D1 offers or guys who are leaving a D1 school looking to transfer to another place. It's a really good opportunity for them to showcase their skills.
0-1 for Hoover. And stepping off is Naria after a little shimmy shake from Mandino at second. Any pitcher, you look at the scouting report on the Sturs and you know what Mandino can do. It's unbelievable, his speed. It's fun to watch him run on the base pass, but still 0-1 to Caleb Hoover. First and second, one out. Comes Yo1. There goes the runners. The throw down. No throw down from the catcher. And a double steal for the Sturs. 2 in a scoring position. Only a single out in the first.
The double steal, a signature move of Santa Barbara and Crusoe that takes away the double play ball. That gets you 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Hoover, power bat, definitely can drive in these runs.
Count is 1-1 to Caleb. Second and third, 1 out. The slider's in there for a strike. 1-2 for Caleb. And hey, you did mention just for summer ball, guys that are in JUCO looking to commit elsewhere. And Hoover, after his fantastic year with Grayson College, going to South Carolina, and rightfully so after what he did this past year at JUCO in Texas. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball missing well high and well done by the catcher. Tagging him just to secure that ball, not allow a run to come in. But Hoover, unreal year, slugging over 800, on-base percentage of over 500.
Yeah, I mean, that's slugging above 800. That was top 15 nationally among JUCO players. Led the Vikings in home runs with 16. Really impressive pop at the plate. Already has 1 home run this year.
Fouls off the 2-2, up and out of play. Means 2 balls and 2 strikes for Hoover.
Sure, it feels good for him to be back and playing. Of course, season cut short due to a broken hand. And he certainly adjusted really well, especially this week, to live ABs.
Still 2-2. Slider misses down, full count. Mandino at third, Muma at second. 3 stolen bases already in this inning alone for Santa Barbara. Cole Chamberlain will be next, and here comes the 3-2 pitch. This is away. Second walk given up by Daniel Naria. Bases full of Forsters to bring up Chamberlain.
Now batting number 8.
Yeah, Naria had the base to give, but, bases loaded with only 1 out. That's not where you want to find yourself in the first inning of a game.
Remember, the Sturs had a similar situation yesterday. They played at 3 runs in the opening inning, then were relatively shut down offensively. Only had 1 more hit through the second and 8th innings. But the 3 runs was enough with a fantastic pitching performance from Crodell, Fino, and James. Combined shutout against the San Diego Bombers, but now a chance for Cole Chamberlain. The bases loaded, only a single out. First pitch high and in, ball 1 to Cole.
Yeah, simple objective here for Chamberlain. Find the gap, drive in some runs, pass the bats. Get some runs early and often if you can, if you're Santa Barbara, which, to be fair, they've done a really good job of it this homestand.
Here comes the 1-0. That's down the middle at 85, 1-1. Chamberlain's searching for his first RBI of this season again, only his 3rd game. They've been following us on this homestand, 2 games back against this very team. His first AB nearly had the near home run in right center. His lone hit so far, 1-1. Big rip, strike 2.
Yeah, that's something that manager Bill Pintard, that's why he brought him in, is because of that power. Had a couple of doubles at Texas. In fact, his 2.
Here's the 1-2 pitch on the ground, past the first baseman in right field. Mandino will score, and from second, Muma's coming in. The throw will be late. Two-run single for Cole Chamberlain, and the Sturs lead 2-0 in the first.
Now batting
Exactly
number
what you're supposed to do if you're Cole
Sawyer.
Chamberlain.
Oh!
Find the space in the field, hard hit ball driven down the right field line, and scores 2 on the 1-out single. Runners on the corner here for Farr, who's looking to keep the inning going.
Still just 1 out for the switch hitter to bat from the left side. First and third. Sturs by 2. That's ball 1 to Sawyer, who has gone 9 for 20 so far this season, as Caleb Hoover now at third base, and Cole Chamberlain, first RBIs of the season at first. 1-0. There goes the runner from first, and no throw down from Tagume, and the 4th stolen bag of this inning for the Sturs. Chamberlain in the scoring position.
Crucially eliminates the double play ball that would have ended the inning. I think that's why Tagume's just going up there to have a word with Neria. You know, settle him down a bit. He's definitely feeling some pressure here. With 2 runners in scoring position, now only 1 out. Farr's done a really good job of driving in base runners and passing down bats, as you mentioned, 9 for 20 so far. So really dangerous hitter here in the 6th spot.
When you look back to the game 2 days ago on the 13th, the Sturs put 4 runs up in the 2nd, then just tacked on 1 more in the 5th, so they did most of their damage in 1 inning. Pitch will miss inside for ball 3 on Sawyer Farr. Already 2 walks given up by Daniel Neria. And Farr ahead. 3 balls and no strikes against the starter for the Philippines. 3-0. Chop to the first baseman. Here is Ben Lee. He's just going to touch first base, but that's going to bring home Caleb Hoover. And the Sturs now lead 3-0 in the opening inning.
Batting number 27, Brady.
Yeah, that's a good job by Farr to drive in a run. And obviously you would have liked to reach, but passes the bat. Runner's still in scoring position at third. So overall, a productive out for Sawyer Farr.
Farr picks up his 4th run batted in this year, and here is Brady Dallimore, runner at third, 2 out. First pitch in the dirt. Great effort from Dylan Tagume. Smother that baseball, ball 1.
An effort that likely saved a run. So really, really good job by Tagume there, not allowing any more runs on the board than there needs to be for the Philippines baseball group.
Chamberlain is at third, 1-0. Inside at 87, 2-0.
Dallimore, when he played the Philippines group on Friday, 2 RBIs on a single.
Here's the 2-0.
And it's really great if you can have someone really take advantage of, that was actually yesterday. But it's really good if you can take advantage of, having runners in scoring position and driving runs. It's such a valuable asset to have in a lineup.
He's ahead 3-0, and that is ball 4. A 4-pitch walk given up by Daniel Neria. That is the 3rd walk of the inning to go along with 2 hits for the Sturs. And here comes the pitching coach for the Philippines baseball group. A 2-out walk for Dallimore to reach. And the Sturs are going to bring up the number 8 batter, Addison Klepsch. First and third already.
Yeah, it makes sense.
3 runs in.
Makes sense why you come in here. 2 base runners on. Of course, you're down to you got 2 outs crucially, but you really want to settle them in and just get out of the inning before more damage can be done. Klepsch, a dangerous hitter, as we know, hitting 400 on the year, had a double yesterday. And I wouldn't be surprised, he can drive in a run. Of course, still searching for his first RBI of the season as well.
First and third, man who's gone 2 for 5 since coming back with the Forsters after spending summer last year here in Santa Barbara. Comes the first pitch from Neria. Big rip over to Fag Fumstent, and it comes off of his foot, ricochets high into the air. It's going to bring home the 4th run of the inning. Chamberlain is going to score. That'll go down as an E6 on JJ Fag Fumstent to score Chamberlain, and Klepsch is aboard.
Yeah, really unlucky for Fag Fumsen. Just hit off his toe. Tough play to make over there at short. Tough hops, but a run's a run. Stirs taking control of the game early.
Here's the 9th batter of the inning, Easton Ruley. First and second, 2 gone. First pitch will miss upstairs, and Kleps reaching on the E6, which ends up scoring Chamberlain from third. Dallimore remains at second. 4-0, the Santa Barbara lead. Here comes the 1-0 to Easton Ruley. It's popped up right side into foul ground. Here comes Ben Lee, camps out under it just to the right of your picture and makes the squeeze outside of first base, but the Stirs bring up 9 batters and they take a 4-0 lead into the second.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back at Santa Barbara High School at Eddie Matthews Field, Frank Camarillo remains on the hill. He's going to face 5, 6, 7. Coming up for the J. Torrente, Owen Stevenson, and Hudson Story. But Santa Barbara have a 4-0 lead through the first.
Yeah, this is exactly what they did yesterday. 8 batters came up, scored 3 runs. This time you get 4 on the board in the first inning. 9 batters coming through. So really great start to the day again for the lineup.
First pitch swinging into left center field, but Terrence Kill, a nice run into the gap. 1 pitch, and J.J. Torrente is retired. 1 out in the second.
That's why you have that speed in the outfield. Terrence Kill covered a lot of ground, but great play, made a tough one look routine. Terrence Kill.
And through an inning and a third, Frank Camarillo has only tossed 15 pitches. Conversely, Daniel Naria threw 38 in the first inning. Here is Owen Stevenson. Strike 1. Good slider from Frank to induce the swing from the man. Hasn't had as many ABs compared to the rest of the lineup this year. He's been able to get on base with a walk. Comes the 0-1. Check swing. Slider down. 1-1.
Stevenson, a long, long way from home. He comes from Whitby, Ontario, Canada.
Long way from Canada here in Santa Barbara. The 1-1 is up the middle and over to Addison Klepsch. And the throw to first in time. 2 up, 2 down in the second. Stevenson will ground out.
And another quick out, crucially. That's exactly what Camarillo did a great job of on last Friday against the OC Riptide. You know, there's a reason why he worked 5 innings in his first appearance of the summer. Normally these guys are on pitch counts. They're, you know, you don't expect them to go deep, but that's exactly what Camarillo's done. He just gets quick outs like that.
First pitch to Hudson Story on the ground to Ruley. It gets past him into center field, and a 2-out knock for Hudson Story. Comes with 2 out in the second.
Both lefties in the order, swinging on the first pitch, and Stevenson, Torrente, lined out to center. At time, though, Story gets through the gap and is on with 2 outs.
That's going to bring up the number 8 batter, the DH today, Javen Boxa. Gone 1 for 8 this season. Takes a first pitch, fastball for a strike. And to continue that thought, Nate, with what Frank Camarillo did, what a game it was in the season opener for Hudson Barrett, who got the start going 4 innings. Then Camarillo came in and threw 5. Next pitch is over to Easton Ruley at short and will flip to Klepschen. That is the inning. A 2-out knock for Hudson Story. But 3 groundouts for Frank Camarillo as we head to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara leads 4-0 over the Philippines.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
On to the bottom of the second. Santa Barbara have 1, 2, 3 coming up. 9 batters came around in the opening frame, pushing in 4 runs. Mandino, Kill, and Muma for the Sturs coming to the plate.
Yeah, Mandino last time got the leadoff hit on a 3-2 count, forced along at bat. Really successful first time through the order.
First pitch from Daniel Neria will miss down in the dirt. A man who tossed 38 pitches in the opening inning. Back out and is going to see the exact same way he started this ball game. Mandino to lead off. 1-0. That's down for ball 2 at 86, the fastball from Neria.
2 straight balls in the dirt. You know, it was a quick top half of the inning, so Neria didn't get that much rest after throwing 38 pitches in the first.
Here comes the 2-0 to Mandino. Into center field. Primanto is there. And Mandino will be retired for the first out in the second.
Now batting
And it is worth noting there is an arm up in the left field bullpen. Jacob Badillo, the right-hander from CSU Los Angeles, warming up down the left field line.
Yeah, the Philippines only used 2 pitchers yesterday. Andres Perez, the righty from Fordham, was really impressive. Went deep into the game, into the 6th or 7th, I believe.
First pitch hits Kill on the helmet, and that's the second time in 2 days. At least it was the curveball at 73, but he's okay and will go down to the first base. Got hit yesterday as the leadoff man off the helmet.
He tried to duck down, but just hit him plump. It's his 3rd HBP in 4 games. Santa Barbara.
And he'll take a nice lead off of first base to bring up Easton Muma. 1 on, 1 out. There goes Terrence Kill. The throw down to second is going to be safe. So he gets hit by a pitch in the helmet. First pitch takes off stolen base. Number 5 for Santa Barbara, and it's just the bottom of the second.
Yeah, you'd think after taking a ball to the head, you'd maybe not want to slide in head first on second base, but Terrence Kill, no fear.
Here comes now the 1-0 to Muma. And a check back to Kill. Bagfumsent holding on to him. But 5 stolen bases already. Mandino had 2 in the first. Mumau had 1, and then Chamberlain also had 1 in the first. 1-0 will miss inside. Good grab by Tagume. 2-0 for Easton. Ball Mumau will be Hoover, then Chamberlain. 1 on, 1 out. Comes the 2-0. And that's going to hit him. Or no, that ball is still live, and the catcher doesn't realize that. Terrence Kill took off to third base. It looked like initially it hit Mumau, but Kill will advance on the errant pitch to third base, and that's going to be ball 3 to Easton Mumau.
I don't think Kill realized it was still alive as well. He just held up at third for a second, and maybe could have scored a run there.
3-0. Inside will be ball 4 now as Mumau works his second walk of the day, and it will go down as a wild pitch to advance Kill to third base. So it's now first and third, only a single out to bring up Caleb Hoover, who also worked a walk in the opening inning. Again, Santa Barbara played all 4 of their runs so far in that first frame. And a nice day from Santa Barbara, clear skies, just a few scattered clouds over the mountains. That backdrop, playing surface here at Eddie Matthews Field in the first day game of the year for the Sturs here at home. The first pitch down the middle for strike, no, missing away at 87, ball 1.
Yeah, Naria wished that was a strike. He's had a hard time locating the zone early.
Comes the 1-0 to Hoover. And he's going to take a ball. The last 2 missing below the zone. The fastballs from Naria, and he, after giving up the walk to Mumau, falls behind to a very dangerous man at the plate. 2-0. High and away this time, another fastball, ball 3, and notably Hoover, the only man with a home run this year, and that's not technically official because that was during the Arroyo Seco game that got called into the 8th inning. 3-0. On the ground and into right field for a base hit. Terrence Kill is going to come around and score the 5th run of the day in Hoover. RBI single to make it a 5-run lead for the Sturs.
Foul batting.
Good job by Caleb Hoover.
Number 8.
Sending that one on the ground. Scores a run. Smart hitting. And keeps the bats moving around the order.
First and second, 1 away for Cole Chamberlain, who had a 2 RBI single down the right field line in the opening inning. Daniel Naria has to work around more traffic in the second. Comes the first pitch. On the outside edge at 81. Changeup by Naria for strike 1.
Chamberlain last time had the single. Really good job of passing the bat. That was the second hit of the inning. Scored some runs with it as well.
0-1 for Cole. That's going to miss away. Ball and a strike. And a changeup from Naria.
Yeah, very common. You know, we talked about it with Camarillo, the top part of this inning, but these righties, if they got the changeup, they love giving it to the lefties. It looks like a fastball, and then it just sneaks out of a zone.
First and second, 1 out. Here comes a 1-1 to Chamberlain from Naria. Missing high and in, ball 2. Remember, Terrence Kill scored the first run of this inning. Hit by a curveball off the helmet, brought home by Hoover. Sturs looking to do some more damage in the second. Here comes the 2-1 to Chamberlain. Ball 3, way at the knees at 85.
3-1, you'd expect to get something favorable here as the hitter. Chamberlain, some pop at his bat. Already driven in runs today.
Sawyer Farr will be next. but the 3-1. Fouled back, full count.
Chamberlain wish he got all of that. Instead, under it, fouls it off, brings the count to full.
Muma is at second, Hoover at first. Already a run in for the Sturs, only a single out. Area, a 3-2 pitch. Cole Chamberlain. High and away. Bases will be loaded. Chamberlain has already got a hit. Now a walk to bring up Sawyer Farr.
Now batting number 5, Sawyer Farr.
Bases loaded once again in back-to-back innings. Something the Sturs struggled with the last couple days was going through quick innings. That has certainly not been the case today. 5 batters already.
And by the way, Chamberlain reaching base on balls, 4th walk given up by Neria today. So the base is juiced for Farr. Check swing, but that sends it over off the scoreboard and trundles its way back to the third base dugout. That ball hit the innings logo on the scoreboard here at Eddie Matthews Field and fell on top of some of the players in the third base dugout, but that is strike 1. Sawyer already has an RBI today on a ground out. Comes the 0-1. Change up away. Ball and a strike. And the Sturs, and you just said it, Nate, the Sturs, when you look back to yesterday's game, only had 2 hits. Just a couple base runners through innings 2 through 8. Fantastic work today.
I'm sure that's something, Pintard addressed before the game, after the game yesterday as well. Just let's get some long innings here.
Here's the 1-1. That's going to miss down on the breaking ball for ball 2.
Should be noted, Philippines baseball group way more deep in their hitters in terms of than their pitchers. Not that as many guys. You usually want a bigger pitching staff than the hitting room, but not the case.
2-1, missing upstairs at 86 on the fastball. Ball 3. Nowhere to put Sawyer. Muma at third. Hoover at second. Chamberlain at first. 1 run in the second. And here comes the 3-1 to Sawyer Farr. Ball 4 walks in a run. Second RBI of the day for Sawyer to bring home the 6th run of this ball game. Bases remain loaded. That's going to bring up Brady Dalmore. I'd like to remind you that these 5 RBIs already in this game brought to us by our friends at Gold's Gym. Gold's has 3 locations in Santa Barbara where the Foresters train to win. Gold's Gym. And it looks like that's going to be the day for Daniel Neria. We are having a pitching change in the second. Bases will be loaded, 1 out, and Santa Barbara leading 6-5 over the Philippines. 6-0 the Forster lead. 1 out in the second. The batter will be Brady Dalmore with the new arm entering Jacob Padilla, the right-hander, to take over for Daniel Neria.
Yeah, Badillo just wrapped up his freshman year with Cal State Los Angeles. Back of a decorated high school career, back-to-back first-team All-League, back-to-back Pitcher of the Year as well over in Lancaster, California.
Bases loaded, only a single out. First pitch to Dalmore will miss away 89 for ball 1. Brady today already has a walk coming in the last inning.
Yeah, a little more velocity than the previous pitcher. Neria can just about reach 90 on that fastball.
Bases filled with Forsters, 1 out in the second. On the ground, left side, it's a base hit for Dalmore. Hoover comes home, and coming home from second is Chamberlain. Play at the plate, safe. 2 RBI single for Dalmore, and the Sturs pushing 2 more runs, and they now lead 8-0 in the second.
It's tough for Badillo to come in and give off the leadoff hit. 2 runs across the plate. Dalmore proving himself as a hitter yet again, that time under the third base glove. I think this game's going a little different than the previous 2 so far offensively, Hunter.
First and second, only 1 out for Klepsch. First pitch will miss inside on a curveball. And yesterday, the Sturs just 3 runs in the opening inning. Only 2 hits through the entire contest.
They already have 4 today.
Along with 7 free passes through an inning and a third. Here's the 1-0 to Klepsch. Fastball on the inside edge for strike 1.
Eight free passes. Klepsch got on because of an error last time through the order.
First and third, 1 out. 1-1 is going to miss down for Jacob Padilla, ball 2. And when you look at the line for Daniel Neria, an inning and a third, 3 hits. Still responsible for 1 runner on. He walked 6. And no strikeouts today for the starter for the Philippines baseball group. It's 2-1. And here comes the pitch. And tap back. Strike 2 for Addison.
Klepsch looking to bring some momentum with him into his new stop, recently committed to UC San Diego after receiving too much play time with UCSD.
Far at second, Brady Dalmore is at first. And Padilla looks for the second out in the second. But the 2-2 is down the left field line, foul. That was close.
That looked like it stayed in to me, Hunter.
Remains 2-2 for Klepsch. 0 for 1, reaching on an E6. There's a 2-out error, which brought home a run back in the last inning to make it a 4-run first, and there's 4 runs in the second for Santa Barbara to amass an 8-0 lead over the Philippines. 2-2 is missing inside, also fraction high. This will be the now 7th pitch to Klepsch, this plate appearance for the second baseman. On the ground, past the second baseman, Stevenson into right field for a base hit. The line continues to move for the Sturs. That is the 3rd hit of the inning. Bases will be loaded for Easton Ruley, still just a single out in the second.
It just feels like to me a lot of the times the Philippines infielders are just a little too late to the ball to be able to make a play on it. Whether that's positioning, whether that's, how quick the ball is coming off the bat. Definitely disappointing performance. A lot of infield hits that just kind of get past the defenders.
First pitch to Ruley on the ground to Stevenson. He's going to second. They get one, and the throw to first will not be thrown by Fagfumsen, and it's going to bring home another run. Sawyer far from third, plates the 5th run of the inning. It is now 9-0 on the Ruley ground out, I should say, fielder's choice. He's at first base. Klepsch is a force-out victim. At second base for the second out. It'll be first and third to bring around Maddox Mandino for the second time this inning.
Third time this game, and something we talked about a lot was how Mandino last week was getting 7 at-bats a game because they were doing because the Foresters were doing exactly this, just passing the bats around and getting long innings out of pitchers.
And that was the game when they scored 21 runs against the Barons. As the runner will take off from first to second, and the runner from third will hold, and good work from Fagfumsent, the shortstop, to gather that ball. Make sure it didn't go into the outfield and keep the runner at third base. So another stolen base for Santa Barbara. Ruley is first of the game. Count now 2-0 for Mandino. Here comes the 2-0. And the top spot in the order, he will take a fastball 4 strike, 2-1.
Usually you get the go-ahead to swing on a 2-0 pitch, but the amount that Badillo is just missing the plate totally makes sense that Mandino was more than happy to just hold off and not swing.
2 gone. 2-1 pitch is foul back, 2-2 now for Maddox. To win this game, base hit in the left to start off the contest, scored a run, and in this inning, a fly out to center. Third plate appearance, just in the bottom of the second. 5 runs in this inning alone for the Sturs. 2-2. Is sprayed back on top of third base on deck circle. Good battle between Mandino and Jacob Badia, and that was a tough spot for Badia to enter in this ballgame. Bases loaded, only a single out, and a few more runs do come around to score. And all of them will be charged to Daniel Neria.
Not exactly what you want to see from your reliever in that situation.
Here comes the 2-2 to Maddox. Lights it off again and chops into the third base dugout, where the Philippines are housed here at Eddie Matthews Field in Santa Barbara. Unofficially pacing the way in the top of the CCL South. Still have a game to be finished between Arroyo Seco, who is currently 4-2. Unofficially, of course, and the Sturs won 2 straight games. They're in a good spot now. They're an inning and 2/3, leading 9-0. 2-2 is up the middle, deflects off the hill, and gloved by the shortstop. Great play by J.J. Fagfumsent to field that deflected ball to save another run from coming around to score. Mandino is retired. Great play by the infield. But the damage has been done. We go to the third. Santa Barbara lead 9-0 over the Philippines.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons, just like the
into the third inning, and Frank Camarillo remains on the hill. He's going to face 9-1-2 Tyler Permonto, Vasquez, and then Fagfumsent coming up for the Philippines. But Santa Barbara, 4 runs in the first and 5 in the second to amass a 9-0 lead over the Philippines baseball group.
absolutely relentless offensively so far. And Camarillo, the perfect guy to be in the game right now to get quick outs and bring the bats back up while they're still hot.
Here comes the first pitch to the leadoff man. Primanto slices it back in the chain link fence just to the right of the plate for strike one. Primanto stands in for the first time. There have been 2 hits so far for the Philippines. Vasquez, a leadoff single, and then a 2-out knock by Story. The 0-1 misses inside, a fastball. Ball and a strike.
Unexpected off day on Thursday, and if you listen to our pregame show, you know that Frank Camarillo spent it at Petco Park down in San Jose, getting some runs with a couple other college prospects to showcase themselves in front of the major league team. Really cool opportunity. Of course, Caleb Hoover had that opportunity on Thursday as well with the Angels. It's great to see these guys to get run like that against premier competition in front of MLB eyes.
1-2 pitch is over to the third baseman. Muma cuts it off the third baseman and in time at first base. We've seen that a couple times from Muma. Just gets a little bit of a quicker glove on it compared to the shortstop in the hole, and that results in the first out in the third.
Of course, that can lead to some confusion, but, you know, Muma, he's been locking it down in the hot corner every single game so far. Communication is great. He can get over there quicker. Of course, it's more distance to cover, but Muma doesn't seem to mind.
And that's going to bring up Nomar Vasquez. 1 out, bases clear. First pitch slider in there for strike one. And to continue that thought, Nate, what Camarillo has done along with Caleb Hoover, notably Hudson Barrett, who got the opening day start, is going to be at the combine getting looked at by professional teams. Here's the next pitch, is up the middle and through the wickets or through the arms of Camarillo. Tried to glove it with his hand and the glove, but it's through for a base hit, and Nomar Vasquez is now 2 for 2.
Hard hit ball as well. Lucky Camarillo got out of the way there. I'm sure he would have liked to make the play defensively, but it's better you allow a hit than to get injured.
Right. The man at first to bring up J.J. Fagfumsint. 9-0. The Santa Barbara lead, and Camarillo moving quick. Strike one.
Yeah, that's something that Camarillo did as well on opening day against the Riptide. He moved really quick, like to keep the batters on their feet.
0-1 is on the ground to Istamuma. Chance for 2. They get one at second to first. Oh, yes. 5-4-3 double play to eliminate the 1-out single by Vasquez, and we're going to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara, a 9-0 lead over the Philippines.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the third inning from Eddie Matthews Field on the campus of Santa Barbara High School. Jacob Padilla remains in the ballgame on the hill, and the Sturs have Terrence Kill the second, Muma and Hoover scheduled in the third with a 9-0 lead after 4 in the first and 5 runs in the second.
Yeah, keep them up while they're hot. Really good job by Camarillo. Throughout this game, he's only on 29 pitches through 3 innings, and he's just been really good job of getting the bats up while they're hot, including Terrence Kill up here.
Tail will take a first pitch ball missing down low at 77. Terrence today fly out to center, and he's been hit by a pitch. Next pitch hit deep into left center field, and making the catch out in center field is Tyler Primanto for the first out in the third. Kill is retired, 1 out in the inning.
If we had a warning track here at Eddie Matthews Field, that ball would have reached it. Really, really good job by Kill. Just needed a little bit more power to get it over the fence, but very impressive piece of hitting there.
The first pitch to Cole Chamberlain be a called strike at 79. Or rather, Easton Mumam. Today's work 2 walks. Next pitch is skipped in for ball 1.
Biggest thing that stand out to me so far about Easton today has been his defense. I mean, turned a really impressive double play to end the top of this inning.
1-1 sprayed left side of the park. Strike 2 on Mumam.
It's really such an asset if you can get great defense at that third base side. A lot of balls come that way, and you can have a guy like Mumam that can field them clean. Great asset.
1-2 is over the third base dugout. Means ball and 2 strike, and the defense has been spectacular, hasn't it?
Kind of expect that, maybe it was a little bumpy to start the year as guys are still adjusting to being in game situations again. And
another 1-2 sprayed back. 3 straight foul balls right in the same area. Good battle between Mumam and Badia. And Badia is picking up the tempo as well on the hill compared to, I feel like, the last inning, working a little bit more methodically, but not wasting much time already. Another 1-2. Up the middle, long run for Stevenson, but it's through for a base hit. 1 out knock for Mumam. He's aboard for the 3rd time today.
First hit as well. Job by Mumam, just skipping that one through the middle. Dangerous base runner as well, has already stolen a base today, so good job by Mumam to get himself on, and I would not be surprised if Shuck gives him the sign.
That will be Caleb Hoover, 9-0 Santa Barbara lead, bottom of 3. Hoover's 1 for 1 with a walk and has scored 2 runs. Take on the first pitch, ball 1. Also has brought home a run, so responsible for 3 of the 9 runs on the scoreboard today. Seen a couple RBIs, and our RBIs brought to us by our friends at Gold's Gym. The 1-0 is located on the outside edge. Ball and a strike. Santa Barbara going into the off day tomorrow, looking to keep the momentum rolling. They have won 2 straight, and a good spot here today. Next pitch, big swing on the breaking ball for strike 2 for Caleb.
He's looking to send the ball over that right field wall.
Mumam at first, 1 out. 1-2 pitch is fouled back. And that's a similar spot where Mumam sawed him off. Means 1-2. Be Cole Chamberlain next for the Santa Barbara Foresters. On a nice day. Probably the nicest day that the Stars have been at Eddie Matthews Field this year in terms of just weather. It is a bit of a warmer day, but nothing too crazy. 1-2 pitch. Well, miss away at 77, especially with a lot of these guys coming from Texas.
And thankfully, we're sitting here in the shade. I mean, when we got to the ballpark, there was no shade cover for us here, Hunter.
Check to the man at first, no problem for Easton Mumam. And Hoover, one of those guys from Texas. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing in from left field towards the plate. 2-2. This is high, full count.
You talk to a lot of these guys from Texas, and something that's pretty unanimous in what they're saying is they're like, hey, like off days, it's great. I get to go to the beach, see the Pacific Ocean. Very different speed of life compared to the Lone Star State.
3-2, check swing, and great take from Caleb. It is ball 4. 3rd time Caleb's aboard today. 2nd walk worked by Caleb. To put 2 on, 1 out for Cole Chamberlain.
Really impressive job to hold up that swing by Hoover. It was just outside, and he read that in time, pulled his swing back. Really nice job by Caleb.
In the first inning, the Stars pushed in 4. In the second, they pushed in 5. So here's Chamberlain from the left side. First pitch was an attempted breaking ball from Jacob Padilla, the second man out on the hill today for the Philippines baseball group, who enter today 1-4. And in their 6 CCL contests, I should say, this year. Look to second, where Muma is. Comes the 1-0 to Cole Chamberlain. That's going to be on the outside edge at 82. Evens the count at 1. Just a single out in this inning, and the Stars have a 9-0 lead. And they played 2 games 2 days ago. Santa Barbara won 5-1 over the Philippines. Comes the 1-1. That is down, ball 2.
Chamberlain. Did really job. You know, he's already walked today, had really good plate discipline back at Texas. Had an OBP of 385.
Count is now 2-1. Popped up in a shallow left. Torrente moves in. Going back is the shortstop Fagfumsint, but it is JJ Torrente to make the squeeze. There's the second out of the inning. Runners hold to bring up the switch hitter Sawyer Farr.
Batting next, number 5, Sawyer.
Yeah, it took 7 batters in the first inning for the Philippines to get their first out. It took 8 batters in the second to get their second out. Now, only the 4th batter faced gets their second out. Really crucial for Badillo to not allow too much more here before this game becomes more out of reach than it already is.
First and second, 2 out. First pitch well away. Good read from Dylan Tagume. Secure that ball, and Sawyer Farr. Been a productive day at the plate when he's come in with base runners. He has 2 runs batted in, 1 via a ground out, 1 via a walk. So there's been a lot of traffic in front of Sawyer, who bats in the 6th spot. Able to bring home runs in both the times he's stood in already today. Comes the 1-0. That is ball 2. And after Daniel Naria gave up 6 walks, Padilla, since entering this game, has given up 3 hits and 1 walk to the Santa Barbara Foresters. Comes the 2-0 to the switch hitter. That's located on the outside edge at 83. Strike 1.
And it makes sense. You know, you usually would, like, as I kind of said earlier, 2-0, usually a count to swing at, but if he's just missing the zone over and over again, you might as well hold up and get yourself into a 3-0 count. That time unsuccessful, though, by Farr.
First and second, 2 gone. 2-1. And Farr's going to take well away. Another good grab by Dylan Tagume, and he's been quite solid behind the plate.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, you know, there's been a few balls in the dirt, and another guy was behind the dish. Maybe more runs would be on the board, but Tagume's done a good job of blocking them.
3-1 the count for Sawyer. Brady Dallimore would be next. The switch hitter is able to reach. 3-1, swing and a miss, full count.
3-1 off speed. Badillo showing his trust in that slider.
And as this game will progress, we'll talk about the history of the Foresters, so stay tuned. As the Stars have a 9-0 lead, as Farr just able to get a piece of it, fouls it back. Runners were taken off. They'll remain at first and second, 2 gone.
Yeah, 2 out. Full count, you might as well run.
Farr's done so well today, bringing home 2 runs. Cole Chamberlain also has 2 RBIs, as does Brady Dallimore. First and second, Jacob Padilla. Lines up to 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Farr down on strikes. The first strikeout of the day for Philippines pitching. Pair stranded on the bases for the Stars. On to the 4th, Santa Barbara, a 9-0 lead over the Philippines. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
On to the fourth inning, and the Santa Barbara Foresters have a 9-0 lead over the Philippines baseball group. There was a change for Bill Pintard being made at third base. Liam Keithley will now enter at third. So Keithley in at third base, and Frank Camarillo remains on the hill. He will face 3-4-5 scheduled in this inning. As the first pitch will miss away to Dylan Tagume. It'll then be Lee and then Torrente scheduled.
Yeah, it makes sense why Tard moved to get some new guys in here, especially for someone like Easton Muma, who's been playing every game so far at third base. It's a demanding position, as we know. It's good for him to get some well-deserved rest.
And Camarillo at a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Foul back off of Cole Chamberlain. Dylan Tagume behind the count 1-2. And Camarillo entering, I should say, through 3 innings, 29 pitches. That is how effective he has been. 3 hits. Double play scattered in there as well. Comes the 1-2. Just going to skip away. 2-2.
It's really a plus if you can get quick innings out of your starter. Allows them to stay in the game longer. Your bullpen to not go as many arms as it needs to go to.
2-2 is going to miss down at 93 from Camarillo. His fastball will miss full count. Tagume struck out looking. First one down in the fourth.
Second strikeout of a day for Camarillo. Again to Tagume. Struck out looking in the first. Now in the fourth, swinging. Goes down.
Here is Ben Lee. One away, bases clear. First pitch will miss away from Frank. Another fastball at 94. We'll talk about the history with the Foresters, but the Philippines, as we mentioned a few days back, unofficially started late December 2021. Late on the 1-0 pitch, Steven the count at 1. And it's pretty cool how this baseball group started, just held camps at LA Valley College and has continued to grow throughout the years. 1-1. Is going to hit Lee. He's able to turn away from it, but he's hit by a pitch. A 1-out base runner for the Philippines.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
First free base runner allowed by Camarillo. Still yet to let a runner on via a walk, so he's been efficient and he's been finding the zone.
Remember, his first appearance for Camarillo came in relief. 5 innings, picked up the win on opening day. The first pitch to J.J. Torrente will be a called strike.
And that's something that Coach Scott Murray praised Camarillo for was, even after letting a runner on, he's still not afraid to attack.
Down the left field line, slicing foul for strike 2 for J.J. Torrente, who is 0 for 1 today. Line out into center came in the second inning. Lee at first base, but the next pitch popped up and out of play by J.J. Torrente. And back into the road, which runs parallel to this field. Back and out of play to our right. Remains 0-2 for Torrente. Stevenson will be next as Camarillo looks to try to get the offense right back out there. 9-0 the lead. 4 in the first, 5 runs in the second for the Sturs. 0-2 pitch, up, down the left field line. Keithley moves back really newly instated, but that ball will fall in foul ground. He's trying to catch it like a receiver over the shoulder, but remains 0-2.
I think the Philippines batter kind of thinks, oh no, he was just going to retrieve his teammate's bat. Never mind. I thought he thought that was fair.
Stevenson retrieves the lumber for Torrente. Remains 0-2. And in this wood bat league, especially at the start of the season, not too long ago, relative terms, everyone getting accustomed to using true wood bats, not what they use in the college ranks. But now the 0-2 to Torrente stays alive.
Torrente getting a long at bat here, something that we've not really seen the Philippines baseball group be able to do against Camarillo so far.
6th pitch of the plate appearance coming up. Still 0-2. Here's the pitch, and the slider will miss away. Ball 1. 1-2 pitch down the left field line and over the third base dugout. Another good battle. Bites off another pitch, Nate.
And that's exactly what Philippines are trying to do here, is just eat up this pitch count, force Santa Barbara to go to its bullpen earlier than it wants to.
It's the 8th pitch, the plate appearance. It's over too short. Here's Rulli. Tough play. They get the force out at second. Heck of an effort from Easton Rulli. Lee will be a force out victim at second, and Torrente aboard via fielder's choice.
Yeah, heck of a play by Easton Rulli. That's not an easy one to make. All your momentum's leading you towards the third base slide, and able to just spin around, hurl it over to second, get the leadoff man out at second. No runners in scoring position still for the Philippines.
Philippines are an affiliate team. It's the first pitch to Stevenson. Will skip away from Chamberlain, but the runner holds for ball 1. This is actually the 3rd straight game for the Sturs against an affiliate team in the CCL South, with 3 affiliates in the league, say the division this year. A couple affiliates in the northern half, and notably the Alameda Merchants 7-2 as an affiliate in the North Division. The 1-0 induces a swing and miss, a high fastball, 1-1.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at that roster, just a lot of really solid guys for them. Certainly playing above what you'd expect an affiliate to, but what you'd expect from that roster.
1-1 will clip the outside edge at 93 for strike 2. And the Sturs did see the Merchants down here at Santa Barbara High School last year. Will not see Alameda this year. We'll note, other than San Luis Obispo, we'll see the Menlo Park Legends later on this year. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Frank Camarillo picks up his 3rd strikeout. Go to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara, a 9-0 lead over the Philippines. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Now on to the bottom of the fourth inning, and the Santa Barbara Foresters have a 9-0 lead. Dallamore Klepsch Ruli will be coming up with Jacob Padilla remaining on the game for the Philippines. Now, we talked about yesterday the pitching excellence from the Stars, only 2 hits. But what a performance so far for Santa Barbara as Dallamore will take a first pitch ball.
Yeah, and it's just really been the theme of this homestand so far is the pitching. 13 strikeouts yesterday, 11 on Friday, only 1 walk yesterday. Only 1 walk, and that's something, that the pitching staff struggled with earlier in the week.
The 2-0 over to Fagfumsen. It gets past him. The shortstop couldn't make the play, and Brady Dallamore is aboard. That will go down as an E6 on the shortstop to bring up Addison Klepsch.
Second error by Fagfumsen. It's had a hard time, a couple of weird bounces. That one just went a little higher than I think he was expecting it to, and now leadoff man on to bring up Addison Klepsch.
Klepsch today 1 for 2. Base hit in a right. Also reached on error, which came back in the first inning. Dallamore at first, nobody out, and Klepsch at a 1-0 count. Ruli will be next. Here's the 1-0. On the ground, too short. Fagfumsen, good play this time. Throw to second in time. They will get the force out for the first out, and Klepsch is aboard via fielder's choice.
Starting next, the shortstop, number 9, Easton.
Yeah, redemption there for Fagfumsen. Although the Philippines would have loved to have turned 2, and they just weren't able to. Stevenson just couldn't get that ball over to first, held up, didn't want to force an error perhaps.
So 1-on-1 out for Ruli. And Easton rolls it over to the third baseman. Vasquez, a little bit of a bobble, goes to first base in time. Klepsch will advance to second and just barely getting the throw there before Ruli reached for the second out.
Quick out there, and it's nice for
the Foresters, number 1,
pitcher Padilla, but very close. That easily could have been a double play as well, but third baseman for the Philippines baseball group, Vasquez, and instead just has to settle for 1 out instead of 2.
That's going to bring up Mandino. 4th plate appearance of the day, just in the 4th inning. First pitch will miss away for ball 1. We'll start to break down the history for the Foresters in the next couple innings, but there have really been 2 groups of Foresters on a semi-pro team back, which started in the 40s and played through to the early 60s. Comes the 1-0 as Maddox will take away for ball 2. And the original Foresters were founded in 1948, now by the defunct Foresters of America Lodge. That's how the Foresters that we currently know, and then the original Foresters were named the non-Santa Barbara moniker by the Foresters of America Lodge. And at second, here's the 2-0. It's going to be in there for strike 1.
It's very common for back in the day to have teams named after industry where people were working in. You think of like the Green Bay Packers named after the meat packers up in Wisconsin. Of course, the Foresters no different.
So that original team played to the early 60s. Here's the 2-1 over to the second baseman, Stevenson. Nice play by the second baseman, and the side is retired. Only having to face 4 batters in the 4th was Jacob Padilla, and we are headed to the 5th. Santa Barbara lead 9-0 over the Philippines.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Top of the fifth inning, and the Stars have brought in a new arm. Kaimi Kahalakai will take over for Frank Camarillo. The starter went 4 innings, and now enter the big right-hander Kahalakai.
You say big, 6'8" big. How about that? Tallest player on the Stars by a good couple inches. Also the tallest player in his college team, the Long Beach State Dirtbags. Pitching to battery mate Cole Chamberlain, who's pretty solid defensively so far.
Kahalakai was going to face 7, 8, and 9 scheduled in this fifth inning. And this fifth inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's has a couple locations in the Santa Barbara area. It's a great place to gather before or after any Forester game. Finney's Craft House. First pitch down low for Hudson Story, who's gone 1 for 1 today. Base hit in the center, which came back in the second inning.
A couple lefties here. It's the back end of the order for Philippines. See if that might throw Kahalakai off.
This is a check swing, but a fair ball over to Liam Keithley, ranges to his right, and the throw will be wide. Don't know if that would have been in time either way, but Hudson Story is aboard. It'll be an infield single for the right fielder. He's now 2 for 2.
Yeah, it's the first play Keithley's had to made since coming in at third base in the last inning, and a good job scooping it up, but tough throw over to first across the diamond. Unlucky to get the leadoff man on.
And that's going to bring up Javen Boxa. 0 for 1. Grounded into a fielder's choice first time up. And Kahalakai is going to have to work around some traffic. First pitch will be in there at 90 to the DH. Strike 1.
So crucial, you know, after letting the leadoff man on to attack the zone and get yourself ahead in the count. That's exactly what Kiimi just did.
Story at first. Nobody out. Comes the 0-1.
Kaimi, fastball, changeup, and cutter. Cutter's going to be the one that kind of moves in away from the right-handed batter like Fox is lining up it right now.
Gonna miss away for ball 1.
Really good job over at Long Beach State getting strikeouts as well. 30 on the year for the Dirtbags.
Comes the 1-2 to Boxa. Up and out of play over the first base dugout, 2-2. Foul box will be Primanto, scheduled for the Philippines on this nice Sunday afternoon matchup between these two teams. The Philippines playing all of their games on the road this season. Another 1-2 pitch, missing down and away, 2-2.
Unlucky. Holic, he thought he had that one.
Look over to first base where Hudson Story is. Comes the 2-2. Sprayed down the right field line, out of play. Means 2-2. Kaimi Kahalakai, second appearance of the year. Came in during the MLB Academy Barons game down in Compton. And here comes the 2-2. Fly ball in the left center field. Drifting over is Terrence Kill. And there's the first out of the inning. Runner will hold up. One down to bring up Tyler Primanto.
Kill just flashing the glove over there, trying to tag the runner out at first. I mean, it got there in a hurry. That would have been very impressive if Kill got that done.
That's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter who's gone 0 for 1 today. Ground out to third. 1 out, 1 on. And the center fielder will take a first pitch ball. So in the last inning, we talked about the original Forsters being created in the late 40s, were eventually disbanded 1962. Here comes the 1-0 to Primanto. Strike one. And you have to wait about 30 years till the Forsters that we know now were created. Bob Townsend, who was working with UC Santa Barbara, felt like you want a summer ball team in the Santa Barbara area. You're working as a coach for UCSB and you're sending guys all the way around the country. You figure, hey, another better place to play summer ball than here in Santa Barbara. This ball over to Keithley at third. They get one at second to first. Not in time. Couldn't turn the 5-4-3, but they get the 5-4. Hudson Story, a force out victim at second. Primanto aboard via fielder's choice. That's going to bring around the top of the order, Nomar Vasquez.
I really thought they were going to turn that one, Hunter.
Good effort.
Really good stretch by Hoover, but just couldn't get there.
So Bob Townsend created the Santa Barbara Foresters, and going back again to the original team created in 1940, they wanted to keep the tradition of the semi-pro team that played here in the mid-1900s and keeping the Santa Barbara name. The runner's going to take off. The great throw from Chamberlain. They're going to get him at second base. Caught him off of first base in a late break for Primanto. Thrown out at second for the third out. You just have to face three batters in the Finney's fifth inning. Good work by the defense going to the bottom half of the inning. Stars lead 9-0 over the Philippines. welcome back to our Finney's Fifth Inning, brought to you every Foresters game by Finney's Craft House. Finney's has now 2 locations in SB, one on Lower State Street and one in Goleta. Finney's is a great place to gather before or after any Forester game. Finney's Craft House. There is a new arm entering for the Philippines baseball group. Dylan Adams, the right-hander, will take over. He's going to face Terrence Kill, Easton Muma, and Caleb Hoover. That is 2, 3, and 4.
Already the 5th inning, and Philippines have gone to more pitchers today than they did in the whole of Friday.
So here's Kill. He's gone 0 for 2, a pair of flyouts to center. He's also been hit by a pitch on the helmet. Did come around to score on that occasion when he was able to reach base. First pitch coming up from Adams. Rounded towards first base on deck circle, scampering out of the way. Liam Keithley, will hit for the first time today, with Muma exiting this game, with Keithley being put in defensively. So Keithley will be next, and then Hoover. The 0-1 will miss away to even the count. So now we're continuing our story about the history of the current Foresters that we know as, and Bob Townsend was an assistant coach with UCSB and figuring what better place to play summer ball than here in Santa Barbara. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be in there for strike 2, and that's how the idea of the new Foresters came around in 1991. It was the first season for the current Foresters.
And why not put a summer ball team in Santa Barbara? It's such a great part of the state, great part of the country, just north of LA, so you're able to get a lot of talent from there. Now, it is common to see like summer ball teams put in places like this. One of the premier summer ball locations being Cape Cod out in Massachusetts, popular vacation spot. Big summer ball scene in Alaska as well. So they love putting these teams in some really fun places.
2-2 to Kill is a drive into center field. Drifting back is Primanto and will make the squeeze, but well hit from Terrence Kill. It's going to go down as a line out, but a loud first out.
Couple times now where Kill was able to get the audience here at Eddie Matthews Field leaning forward in their seats. He sent one to the warning track area in left center last time. That time, really nice sound off the bat, but right to the center field. A really, really unlucky day so far for Terrence Kill.
That's going to bring up Liam Keithley to the plate for the first time today. First pitch will miss away at the knees, and in case you're keeping track, Easton Muma today, 2 walks and a base hit. So job well done by Easton. And Keithley been put in third base defensively, hitting for the first time. Here comes the 1-0. Fooled there, 1-1.
Keithley, this time taking an at-bat at his home high school field this summer. Played for the Dons a couple years back.
Here comes the 1-1 to Liam. That's going to miss away for ball 2. So once the Foresters were established, some good fundraising and some good planning by Coach Townsend. The first Forester game was played June 15th, 1991. And where? Santa Barbara High School. So we're on the anniversary day of the first Forester game ever being played. This one is lined to the shortstop and in and out of the glove of Thag Fumsint. Hard hit ball, and Keithley will reach. And Keithley, standing in for the first time today, picks up a knock with 1 out in the 5th.
Yeah, it makes sense why you call that a knock. Hard hit off the bat. Good job by Keithley in his first AB getting on.
We'll bring up Hoover, but yes, the anniversary date today from the first ever game being played by the Santa Barbara Foresters, as we know them today, right here at Santa Barbara High School, and the location has varied throughout the years where the Sturs play. First pitch to Hoover, swing to miss for strike 1. Over the years, the Sturs have played at Westmont just down the road, then also up the road at UC Santa Barbara and also at Pershing Park, but back to where it all started in 1991, June 15th, here on this Father's Day, Sunday afternoon. The 0-1's away, 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great ballpark, Hunter. Got a beautiful backdrop. You see the nice homes on the hill. You got the mountain in the background. Just all sorts of sights to see here.
1-1, down the way. Again, some good work behind the plate for Dylan Tagium.
What I kind of like about this ballpark, and I'm sure it might ruffle some feathers, but, you got that little mound out in the outfield in the parking lot of Santa Barbara High School where people just are able to catch the game without having to pay for a ticket.
Quite the vantage point up there, the parking lot by Santa Barbara High.
And it makes you kind of think about, it's a big culture back up at Berkeley, at Cal, where people sit up on Telegraph Hill to watch the games for free.
Hoover's at a 2-1 count now. He's gone 1 for 1 with 2 walks. Spits on that pitch for ball 3. If you really dig back through the record books, on that first game being played June 15th, 1991, the Sturs beat the Arroyo Grande Black Sox in a doubleheader, 11-0, then 4-3 to go 2-0 in their first day as a franchise. 3-1, big swing, full count.
Really set the tone about what this franchise is all about. Winning.
And the Forsters have never finished under 500 in all the years since 1991. Runner at first, 3-2 pitch, well away, and Caleb Hoover on base for the 4th time today. Third go along with an RBI single.
Up next for the Sturs, number
Yeah,
8,
Hoover
Cole
has done a great job of getting walks today. He's come around the place twice. He's got some RBIs as well, so really good day, Caleb.
And that will bring up Cole Chamberlain, 9-0, the Forster lead, 1 out and 2 on in the Finneys' 5th inning. Adams, first pitch will miss away for ball 1. So with the Sturs being established and playing their first games in 1991, Bob Townsend led the way as a manager for the first couple years, then come around to Bill Pintard, 1995 seasons when he took over in his first year as a manager. Next pitch will miss away for ball 2 to Chamberlain. Pintard notably was around as a bench coach and also a pitching coach when his son Eric was part of the Forsters, but Bill took over in 95, and what Bob Townsend, the first manager, said, he said he laid the foundation, then Bill built the house with what he has done with the Santa Barbara Forsters. 2-0 is going to be down for ball 3.
I don't know if I'd call it a house. It might be like a
Skyscraper,
mansion we see
yeah.
up in the hills right now. Not to be, not to give a spoiler alert here about what this story's going to go, but 10-time national champs, I mean,
Absolutely.
the nicest house on the block.
It's now 3-0 for Chamberlain. A drive down the right field line, but draws foul. That ball was smashed for a long strike 1.
Just too early. He really wants to get that one off. First home run. You just feel it coming for Cole.
It'll be coming shortly, that is for sure. Today he's gone 1 for 2, a walk, scored twice, and 2 RBIs. 3-1 will miss away. Second straight walk given up by Tyler Adams to load up the bases with 1 out in the 5th.
Now batting number 5, Sawyer.
Starting to feel like kind of the top of the game where, you get bases loaded, runners on. And, yeah, I don't think they want to take any chances here. Just settle them down before any runs can come in.
Visit to the hill for the pitching coach. Base is now loaded, and the batter will be Sawyer Farr. And, Nate, you said it, how this story goes with Bill Pintard. 95 was the first year, and it's just progressively building. And you even said it with local talent. That's how the Forsters were, especially early on in their days. Started by Bob Townsend, recruited them mainly people from Santa Barbara, even not just college guys, with most of the games being played on the weekend. There were some guys that worked normal jobs and just outside of school, and they just want to keep playing baseball for the fun of it. And the Santa Barbara Forsters was a great way to do it, mainly playing on the weekends.
And that's totally carried over to today where, you still see a lot of guys on the roster coming from the Santa Barbara area. Of course, Liam Keefe, who's on base right now, played his high school ball here at SBHS.
This is grounded outside of first base for strike 1 on Sawyer Farr.
Especially early on in the season, that tradition kind of continues, And Tard was like, we're still waiting for some of our guys to come in from colleges. A lot of people playing in the Collegiate World Series. Leans on guys who come from Santa Barbara, or they just graduated from high school, like pitcher Zeke Adderley, who we might see today. Established people who've played a couple of years of college and just looking for some run in the summer with the local team while not leave the comforts of their own bed.
What a chance now for Sawyer Farr. The Sturs put up 9 runs through the first 2 innings. It's 1-1 for the switch hitter. Check swing, that's ball 2, and delivery from Adams. Also notably, talking about the wood bats that the Foresters used metal bats till 1998. It wasn't always that the Sturs were playing the old-fashioned lumber. 2-1. Missing away at belt height, ball 3, one at 84 on the delivery from Adams.
Good take by far. It's tempting. That's a good height for a batter like him. His height, but just outside of his zone, wasn't fooled.
Keithley third, Hoover second, Chamberlain is at first. 3-1 in there, full count. Just clipping the edge at 83 from Adams. Nowhere to put Sawyer Brady. Dallimore will be next. 9-0 the Forester lead, and Adams, the 3-2 pitch to Farr. That is ball 4. And Sawyer Farr, for the second time today, works a walk, and he has brought home his 3rd run today. 3 RBIs for Sawyer. And twice he's walked him in. The other occasion, it was via a ground out. Keithley plates the 10th run of the ball game, and the bases remain loaded for Brady Dallimore.
I'm sure Sawyer Farr would take these RBIs, but it's the easiest way you could possibly get it, Hunter. Just base on balls and take it.
Yeah. Brady Dallimore will take first pitch ball, and another great play by Dylan Tagium. Second pitch is roped outside of third base for strike 1 on Dallimore. And with the Bill Pintard entering 1995 and progressively better team, had some big highlights through the years for the Santa Barbara Foresters, but their first NBC World Series championship came 2006. Comes the next pitch to Dallimore. It's going to miss inside.
That tournament's been around for upwards of 90 years. You've had guys like Satchel Paige playing it. Really prestigious.
It's now 2-1 for Brady. Outside third base, 2-2.
For the Foresters, just in the recent times, to play such a big part in that history. It's really, really cool.
Champions in 06, 08, back-to-back 11 and 12, 2016, 2018, then the three-peat from 2020 to 2022, 3 straight NBC titles. 2-2 to Dallimore. That's going to be missing away, and another great play by the catcher. Count full.
Yeah, really good job by Tagium. Is the DH on Friday. Didn't get run behind the plate, and to ask maybe why, because he's been really solid there.
Nowhere to put Dallimore. 3-2, and spreads over the first base dugout. Remains full. With all those 10 NBC titles, that's what the Foresters are just building to throughout June and into July. That tournament in Wichita, trying to bring home the 11th this year. Now the 3-2, that's away, ball 4, and that is 4 straight walks given up by Dylan Adams. Walks in Caleb Hoover. Is now 11-0 Foresters, with just 1 out in the 5th. Second walk, by the way, for Brady, along with a 2 RBI single, so 3 runs batted in today for Brady.
It's as if you're playing on beginner difficulty here. Every pitch out of his own.
Now here's Addison Klepsch. First pitch away, ball 1. There's some guys up tossing down that left field bullpen for the Philippines baseball group. Klepsch today has 1 hit. It's 1 for 3. Spits on that one. Good take, ball 2.
13 free bases for the Stars.
To amass their 11-0 lead, bottom of the 5th. Now Wichita tournament will start in late July. Stars are building to. 2-0 will get away from the catcher, and from third base, Chamberlain will come in to score the 12th run of the ball game for the Stars. All runners advance. First base now unoccupied. For Addison Klepsch, who's ahead 3-0.
Tagium was playing a great game. That one, though, just got past him. So I think it might be Ben Lee behind the plate.
Next pitch will be in there for a strike. 3-1. 3-1 pitch. And Klepsch grounds it, chops it to third and outside of third base. Outstretched glove and Nomar Vasquez couldn't get there, but it was foul. Count now full for Klepsch. Here's the pitch. And that is ball 4. 5 straight walks for the Sturs. Bases once again loaded. Still just a single out in the 5th, and there was the change in the catcher spot.
Now batting number 9.
Lee taking over after Dylan Tagium got the start. And here comes the manager, Will Pickett's out to the hill, and there will be a pitching change for the Philippines baseball group. Santa Barbara on top. 3 runs in the 5th, on top 12-0 over the Philippines.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
The new arm will be Ronan Nuki. The batter is Easton Ruley. Bases loaded, only a single out. First pitch missing well high to Easton for ball 1. 3 runs in the 5th inning for the Sturs as they now lead 12-0 over the Philippines baseball group. Ruley today, he's gone 0 for 3. They're going to bring home some more runs. Outside of third base, 1-1 now the count.
Only base runner who hasn't gotten on today.
And there have been some big defensive changes for the Philippines baseball group. Hudson Story started in right field, is now at first base, which was where Ben Lee started, and he is now catching. Here comes the 1-1 Easton. Misses well over the head of Easton Ruley. That is ball 2.
And you say well overhead. That was well over his head. That was a good half a foot above him.
Forsters only a single out in the inning. There's the 2-1. Popped up and in the foul ground. Here comes Lee, and that ball will go out of play. 2-2 now for Ruley. To follow Easton will be Maddox Mandino. Stands on deck. Base is full. 1 out. Here comes the 2-2 to Easton. In the left center field, drifting over is Premonto and makes the squeeze. There's the second out, but from third base comes Sawyer Farr. Sacrifice fly for Easton Ruley, and the Sturs now lead 13-0 with 4 runs in the 5th.
Yeah, definitely a productive out there for Ruley. Gets the RBI, scores Farr from third, and brings back up the top of the order. The only batter who hasn't hit today. Who hasn't hit in this inning, excuse me.
So the 9th batter will be Mandino of this inning alone, standing in for the 5th time today. First and second, 2 out. First pitch will miss inside. That was ball 1.
Third inning today where the Foresters have gone through the entire order.
Comes the 1-0 pitch to Maddox. It's fooled there, 1-1. And we mentioned that Hudson Story, now the first baseman. Ethan Kearney is now in at right field. Was not available last time these two teams played the new right fielder. Here's the 1-1. Missing away, ball 2.
Great take.
So Lee catching, Story at first, Kearney in right. First and second, 4 runs in the 5th. Here's the pitch, and this is in the right center field from second base. Dallimore is coming home. Mandino's thinking 2. And an RBI double for Maddox Mandino, and Santa Barbara now lead 14-0 in the 5th.
Now batting number 2, Terrence.
How about that? Mandino showing some extra base pop, finds the gap, drives in a run. That's exactly what he's been able to do a lot of this season. You know, back into the order, gets on plate, gets on the base, excuse me, and Mandino's just able to drive him home like he did that time.
And the Sturs have batted around. Here's Terrence Kill, who led off this inning. On the ground, over too short. In fact, Fumson will just throw to third base, and now caught in the rundown is Mandino. There was no force play at third base. Trying to get Maddox, and finally will be tagged out. Side retired. But more runs coming to score for Santa Barbara. They now lead 14-0 on our way to the 6th. back in Santa Barbara. Onto the 6th inning, and Santa Barbara now leads 15-0 with Mandino caught in that rundown. It was not a force play, and that allowed Addison Klepsch to come around and plate the 15th run. As J.J. Fagfumsent went to the third baseman, Nomar Vasquez. It went down 6-5-4-6 on the putout, but that allowed Klepsch to come around. Not a force play, and score the 6th run of the inning. 15-0 the score. The first pitch in there for a strike to Nomar Vasquez. As Kaimi Kahalakai remains in this game, only had to face 3 in the last inning.
Yeah, it was just the wrong decision by Fagfumsent. And it ended up proving costly. A big difference in this game that could be.
Ball and a strike. To the leadoff batter will be Fagfumsent next. And then it should be Ethan Kearney with the substitutions being made. And there's the 1-1 missing away. It's ball 2. Kaimi Kahalakai gave up a leadoff single, an infield single. First man he faced back in the last inning. Here's the 2-1. Over to third base. Here's Liam Keithley. Charges the throw to first. Will not be in time. And that's off the front of the dugout. But the leadoff man is aboard for the second straight inning. Vasquez, who was 2 for 2, now make it 3 for 3 today. He's had a fantastic day at the plate. Man at the top spot of the order.
I mean, he's done his job every time. Get on base as the leadoff man, and just hasn't been able to move past that.
And here's J.J. Fagfumsent. It's 0 for 2. Rolled into a fielder's choice and ground into a double play. Check over from Kaimi. Whenever this game will conclude, Sturs will have an off day tomorrow. Then we'll start next week with a road game. First pitch now, high and tight to Fagfumsent, ball 1. And then after that, 5 straight here at home, Nate. Another nice long homestand.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely stuff that the team will take, although that drive down to Orange County is brutal.
1-0 will find the upper half of the zone, ball and strike.
It's the furthest drive that the team will have to do all year.
And the last time down Orange County.
Sure, the players aren't pretty happy about that.
Man on, nobody out. 1-1 is in there at 89. Strike 2.
Well, let me tell you, we've been able to see all the other teams in the South at their ballparks, and Great Park is a new facility, just a great place for a game.
Really like a small minor league field down there in Orange County. So the 1-2 pitch, and Fagfumsent strikes out. Kaimi Kahalakai picks up his first K. 1 out in the 6th.
That's just such a big thing, as a pitcher. You get the leadoff man on, but you still come back attacking and get the strikeout. Shows that you don't let stuff bother you. Have that confidence in your stuff and the outs.
And now here is Kearney to bat for the first time. Again, he entered defensively out in right field. Hudson Story moved to first, and Bentley moved to the catcher spot. So batting for the first time for Tagium, as Dylan Tagium went 0 for 2, K'd twice. First pitch will miss for Ethan Kearney, ball 1.
Kearney, impressive career so far at Glendale College. Career batting average above 300. Good slugging at 431, so has some pop on him.
Next pitch misses down and away for ball 2.
Production definitely took a backseat this year, sophomore season.
Philippines have been able to scatter hits throughout this game. No occasion a man has gotten a scoring position. Here's the next pitch, and it's in there. Nice breaking ball from Kaimi. Strike 1. 2 balls and a strike for Kearney. Bentley will be next. But can Kaimi find a ground ball to turn 2? 2-1, big rip. 2-2. $15-0, the Santa Barbara lead. 4 runs in the first, 5 in the second, 6 in the 5th to amass their run total. 2-2, chopped up the middle, long run. Here's Rulli, got second in the first, not in time. They get the force out for the second out, and Kearney aboard on a fielder's choice. Vasquez retired, 2 down.
Vasquez is the 5th guy and a 5th person to reach first, but unable to get the second. Just the Forster's doing a really good job at limiting the Philippines to just staying on the first base.
5 hits for the Philippines baseball group today. But the first pitch to Ben Lee will be a called strike at 90-0-1. Lee started at first, now catching. He's rolled into a fielder's choice and has been hit by a pitch. So he's 0 for 1. It's now the 0-1. There's a breaking ball down into the bullpen, down the right field line. Evens the count at.
Yeah, Lee was the catcher on Friday for the Philippines baseball group, and comes into the game midway through, and a couple balls get past him now, hoping to redeem himself at the dish. 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch so far.
2 out, and the count now 0-2 to Ben Lee. Here's the pitch, and that's away, ball 1. Lee's able to reach J.J. Torrente. Torrente will be next, but Santa Barbara with this nice lead. We'll have Keithley, Hoover, Chamberlain scheduled after 6 runs in the last inning. 1-2. In the right field, shallow, and Sawyer Farr won't be able to make a play on it. It's a 2-out knock for Ben Lee, his first hit of the day.
First action Farr seen all day out and right. His 5th position he's played this season.
How about that, huh?
Incredible versatility. It's just so valuable to have as a defender. He's a switch hitter as well. Just really, really great player to have on your team. Now, it was a tough play to make, just kind of in no man's land. He kind of slowed down and just let it one hop and make the easy play defensively. Definitely the right call with 2 outs this inning.
For the first time this game, the Philippines have a man at second. First pitch to J.J. Torrente will miss away for ball 1. Kaimi Kahalika was the first man out of the pen after Frank Camarillo. The starter went 4. First and second, 2 out. 1-0 pitch in there at 84, 1-1.
Nice pitch by Kahalika, just getting into the zone. Chamberlain painted it a little bit as well.
J.J. Torrente today, he's gone 0 for 2, line out to center. Ground into a fielder's choice. 1-1. High fly ball into foul ground, moves Liam Keithley, the third baseman, and makes the squeeze, and the side retired. 2 base hits for the Philippines, but we go to the bottom of the 6th. Stars leading 15-0 over the Philippines baseball group. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Liam Keithley will lead off. Hoover and then Chamberlain. That is 3, 4, and 5 with Ronan Nuki remaining in this ball game on the hill for the Philippines baseball group. The Stars put up 6 in the 5th, and when they've scored, they have scored in bunches today.
That's something you could say on for the entire season, really, Hunter.
Keithy will take for ball 1 since he entered in this ball game defensively for Easton Mumam. He's batted once today, base hit in a left, and run scored for the now third baseman. Here comes the 1-0. Big breaking ball missing inside. 2-0.
Yeah, Keithley past season at Cal Lutheran didn't really get any run no at bats as a hitter, but he was really used a lot as a pinch runner for that speed. Scored 7 runs for the Kingsmen.
2-0 misses upstairs on the breaking ball for ball 3, and there's another change defensively for the Philippines. Gavin Vanderpool now in at short. That's where JJ Fagfumsint was, and now Vanderpool takes over the number 6 position.
And that makes a lot of sense to me. Fagfumsint struggled a bit over there at short. A couple of fumbles. Inconsistent throws, so it makes sense to pull him.
Here's the leadoff man, 3-1 pitch, misses inside. It's a leadoff walk for Liam Keithley. So he's 1 for 1 with a walk to bring up Caleb Hoover. Remember, Hoover now standing in for the 5th time today. He's got 3 walks, an RBI single, and has scored 3 runs. Very similar to that Barons game where the Stars had every man come around 7 times, and Maddox Mandino stood in for an 8th plate appearance in the 9th inning. The leadoff man aboard. First pitch well away, ball 1 Hoover.
Keithley has some speed at first.
Here comes the 1-0. And that's going to miss away for ball 2. One thing for these Forster teams that Bill Pintard always tries to do year in and year out. Here's the next pitch on the ground to the first baseman. It skips past him into right field. Hudson Story couldn't glove it. And from first base, Keithley goes all the way to third. And Hoover aboard for the 5th time today. Base hit in the right, first and third, nobody out.
Yeah, flashing that speed. Keithley going from first to third. Great acceleration. Good job by Hoover to just get that one very similar to his first hit of the game. On the first base line, past the infield. Just reached base every single time he's come up to the plate today. Scored 3 runs as well, so really solid start. And we got a new player coming in here. The Grant Madrid Murray.
First and third, and Grant Madrid Murray pinch hitting for Cole Chamberlain, who's had a very nice day at the plate. First pitch was a strike. And Madrid Murray's going to get hit by a pitch to load up the bases. The first 3 men all reaching base.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
Pintard doing something that we haven't really seen him do too much this year, mainly just because of the lack of depth that they've had a lot of the time. As more players come in, he's able to allow more guys to come in the middle of the games as pinch hitters, pinch runners. And it really opens you up to a lot of options and versatility. Get different looks for different guys, and Pintard bringing in Madrid Murray here after a couple of off days for him.
First pitch missed for Sawyer Farr, as does the second from Ronan Nuki. Nuki took over in the middle of the last inning. Faced Easton Ruley, now facing Sawyer Farr, bases loaded. Swing and miss on the 2-0 pitch, strike 1.
Bases loaded here for Farr. He's found himself a couple times in this situation. Last time, walked, scored a run.
Here's the next pitch. Over to first base. Hudson Story charges in. Will flip to first base. That ball gets away. 1 run will come in to score. And the bases remain loaded. 1 more run tacked on. It is now 16-0. And Sawyer far aboard with Keithley plating the first run of the inning.
And when runs comes for the Forsters, as we mentioned, they come in bunches. Base is still loaded. Nobody out yet. Farr just reaching on, I believe we'll call that an error.
It's going to go down as an infield single. So far aboard for the 3rd time today as Dallimore will take a first pitch strike. 0-1 so far. Also another RBI for Sawyer as well. Make it 4 on the day with 4 plate appearances for the switch hitter. The 0-1 up the middle to the second baseman. Stevenson flips, force out to first. Got him on a 4-6-3 double play to get their first 2 outs of the inning, but another run will come in to score. Caleb Hoover from third base plates another run. Make it now 17-0 for the Sturs. Madrid Murray to third base. And now 2 out for Addison Klepsch.
Hoover's 4th run of a day.
First pitch on the inside edge, strike 1. Next pitch, spinning out of the way, missing inside from Ronan Nuki, a ball and a strike.
Already 1 hit by pitch from Nuki this inning. Left to get out of the way to avoid becoming the second.
1-1, skips past catcher Ben Leon from third base. Grant Madrid Murray plates the 18th run of the game, 3rd of the inning. And is now 2-1 to Klepsch.
Crucially, base is empty now for the pitcher.
With the double play turned, Madrid Murray scores. 2-1. That is ball 3. Klepsch is able to reach. Easton Ruley will be next for Santa Barbara.
I want to talk about the significance so far, the run total. 21 put up against the Barons last Sunday was a team record for the last 4 years. You have to go back to, early 2021 summer against other affiliates where you'd have to find more runs, and already 18 across the plate in 6 innings. Runner on first. Ruley now to the plate.
So Klepsch works his second walk of the day, coming with 2 out. As Ruley will take a first pitch. That's 77 for a strike. 0-1. Easton today gone 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly in his last time up. Goes into center field. 0-1. Over to third base, and that ball is foul outside of third for strike 2 for Easton.
And the Stars have done all of his damage without recording an extra base hit. It's all been singles. Besides 1 double from Maddox Mandino.
But yes, all those singles.
He didn't come around to score that time around as either.
And Ruley now at an 0-2 count, man at first base, 2 out. Popped up into the infield. Vasquez camps out under it. And the side will be retired, but the Sturs plate 3 more runs. They have an 8-0 lead as we head to the 7th from Santa Barbara High School.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Kaimi Kahalakai remains in this ball game for the Sturs into the 7th inning, 18-0. The lead for the Sturs as Owen Stevenson, Hudson Story, Jaden Boxo are scheduled in this inning. 3 runs tacked on in the last inning for Santa Barbara. First pitch from Kaimi will miss down for ball 1 as Stevenson today has gone 0 for 2. Ground out to second, struck out.
Kahalakai kind of working out of a different position than what he was used to compared to the start of the year. He blown ever appearance was the start against the Barons, and now first pitcher out of the pen. Get some good experience, as Scott Murray and co still figure out the rotation and who fits in where.
That's now a strike on Stevenson, 2-1. In case you're wondering, you see a couple arms down in that right field bullpen. Tag Andrews and Easton Tumis, were slated to also pitch today if needed. 2-1. Missed upstairs for ball 3. And both Tumis and Andrews currently up down that right field line. But it's 3-1 to the leadoff man. And here comes the delivery from Kaimi Kahalakai. That's ball 4 inside, a leadoff walk. And for the 3rd straight inning, all against Kaimi Kahalakai, the leadoff man has reached base.
Crucially, he's, walked in after that, and here's an impressive thing. Another great job by the pitching staff limiting the walks. That's only their first of the game, Hunter.
Fantastic point, and continuing that thought on Kahalakai. Done so well after giving up leadoff singles the last 2 innings, working around it. So now a pinch runner is being brought in at first base. He's wearing number 6. That's Jaden Box's number, the DH. But Boxa is standing on deck. Try to get confirmation on who the pinch runner is now at first base, as it's now 1-0 for Hudson Story. A couple of numbers doubled up on the Philippines roster, but Boxa is on deck. And here comes the 1-0 to Hudson Story. That's a strike, 1-1.
Way to attack back in the zone.
Hudson Story today has gone 2 for 2. A base hit, center, and infield single. Had a very nice day today, along with Nomar Vasquez. This is foul back, strike 2. By the way, for Vasquez, he's gone 3 for 3. 2 infield singles and a base hit in his center, with Kahalakai now heading the count 1-2.
Yeah, this has been their Vasquez has been their guy.
And at first, nobody out, top of 7. 1-2 pitch will get away past Grant Madrid Murray, now into the game. Advancing down to second base is Stevenson. And that will go down as a wild pitch. And remember, Madrid Murray now in this ballgame after pinch hitting for Cole Chamberlain. There's been 2 changes for Bill Pintard being made today. Liam Keithley at third and Madrid Murray as the catcher.
First time we've seen Madrid Murray behind the plate in a couple days.
2-2. That position spot. So the count now full for Hudson's that position spot. So the count now full for Hudson Story. Man at second now after the wild pitch. It's popped up down the third baseline. In comes Keithley. And will make the catch. There's the first out in the 7th.
Crucial for Kahalakai, even after the runner advanced to second on the wild pitch. Bounce back, got out 1.
Remember the pinch runner now in at second base. It's Mason Feng, who was recently activated, was not here 2 days ago when the Philippines played. So man at second, 1 out. Here's Javen Boxa. He's gone 0 for 2 today. First pitch from Kaimi is going to miss away for ball 1. Just the second arm to be used today for the Sturs is Kaimi after Frank Camarillo. A very nice 4 innings of work. Struck out 3, no runs. 4 hits given up, though, by Frank, but worked efficiently. Nice outing from Camarillo. Comes the 1-0. Outside of third for strike 1 on Boxa.
Boxa, the DH, yet to reach. You know, you're in there as the designated hitter to get hits, and Boxa hasn't been able to do that. Although has reached on a fielder's choice.
And here comes the 1-1 to the DH. Missing upstairs from Kaimi. That is ball 2. To follow Boxa, schedule will be Tyler Primanto. It's 2-1, man. It's second, 1 out. Sturs leading 18-0. Top of the 7th. Here comes the 2-1 from Kahalakai. That's in there. Good delivery from Kaimi. 2-2.
Really slowed it down, kind of took it a couple extra seconds to gather himself and front door the breaking ball.
These two teams will play one more time later on this year. That'll come on the 17th of July when the regular year winds down for Santa Barbara. 2-2. Down the right field line, out of play. Man slicing into the street that runs parallel here at Eddie Matthews Field. So it remains 2-2 for the DH, top of 7.
Be the first game after the All-Star break, in fact. So, you know, some guys coming back from that. Maybe the roster won't be as full as you'd think, but still a really cool moment and what a lot of this season's kind of building up to for some of these guys individually.
Yes, and that showcase will be at the MLB Academy down in Compton. A couple guys were named to that team last year. So in the home run derby, but it's now 2-2 to Boxa. In the right center field, long run for Terrence Kill, but it falls for a base hit. Fang from second base looks to come in. Terrence Kill, it's a good throw, but now the play down to second base, safe, and a run in. And the Philippines have their first run of the ball game. RBI single from Javen Boxa, advancing on the throw home to second. Mason Fang plates the first run of the game for the Philippines.
That was his purpose as the pinch runner to come in and move around the base path, and that's exactly what Fang did. Really, really good throw by Terrence Kill all the way from deep center. Reached the home, but it was just a little offline, and then Boxa took advantage and headed over to second, so runner still in scoring position with just 1 out.
And here is Primanto, first pitch away, and it's a good read from Madrid Murray again to try to gun down Boxa at second, trying to advance, which he did successfully to second base on the throw home, but that was a great throw by Kill, wasn't it?
Really good throw.
First pitch from Kaimi missed to the number 9 batter. He's ahead 1-0. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Primanto has gone 0 for 2, grounded to third, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 5th. Philippines get their first run, not quite done, still just a single out. 1-1. High fly ball and drawing in a foul ground long run for Mandino, but it will fall for strike 2.
Dino is playing pretty closer to left center than left field, and a couple of feet over, maybe he would have gotten there in time to get the final out of the inning, to get an out, excuse me.
One and 2 the count. And the Philippines bring home their second run of the game with their number 9 batter. Kahalakai will deal the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a foul tip back into the glove. And Primanto down swinging. That is the second out of the 7th.
Second strikeout of a day for Kahalakai.
And the 5th by Santa Barbara pitching is Frank had 3 punch-outs today. Starter, but Kahalakai is in line for the victory. There have been arms up down in that right field bullpen with Kahalakai entering as well in the 5th inning. This is his 3rd inning. Look to get him through 7. We'll see what Sturs do in the 8th, as now batter will be Nomar Vasquez. Stands in, man not second, 2 out. Will take a first pitch ball, and Vasquez, he's 3 for 3.
Yeah, he's been the problem man. Lead off hitter, although now Kind of in a new situation for him, runner on second, 2 outs. He's usually been hitting with nobody out, nobody on, 1 out. He's been able to do some damage.
Kahalakai winds up the 1-0 pitch to Vasquez. That's going to be down the way, bolt 2. Still at second base is Javen Boxa. Brought home the first run of the game as an RBI single into center. That RBI brought to us by Gold's Gym. Seen a lot of RBIs, especially on the Santa Barbara side today. Gold sponsoring all the runs batted in today. 2 out. Comes the 2-0 pitch. Vasquez sees it high, ball 3.
I like the idea there by Kahalakai. I think they're gonna. I really do think they're just gonna let him ride out this inning no matter what.
18-1 the score. Stars have scored in 4 of their 6 innings that they've come up to the plate. It's 3-0. That's in there at 89 from Kahalakai. Strike 1.
Had to get back in the zone. You're just a pitch away from getting out of the inning. Get the bats back up while they're hot. There 3 runs came across the plate in the last inning from the Stars.
Man at second, 2 out. Vasquez, who was 3 for 3. See the 3-1 pitch from Kahalakai, and that was high and in, but he's able to turn away from it. That's ball 4, and thankfully able to spin away from it. That was coming near the chin, so it's a 2-out walk from Aimi Kahalakai to put first and second for Gavin Vanderpool. And now here comes Scott Murray out of the first base dugout.
Just try and settle in. Kahalakai, just remind him that, hey, you're just 1 out away from getting out of this inning. Of course, it's not, say there's too much pressure on him right now, really at all, just because there's so many runs have been able to come across the plate.
And rather with some of the numbers being doubled up with the Philippines, it wasn't Gavin Vanderpool at short. It was Malachi Lopez, who we saw a couple days ago. So Lopez to hit for the first time. Our apologies on Vanderpool. So Lopez stands in. First and second, 2 out after Vasquez works a walk. First pitch is sprayed back. Strike 1. Now, Nate, we've been talking about history for the Foresters, what Bill Pintard does. Pat Burns, a longtime associate head coach with the Santa Barbara Foresters and former commissioner of the CCL, says that Bill's the master building team chemistry. Here's the 0-1. It's chopped over to Easton Rulli at short and just has to flip over to second for the force out. The Philippines bring home their first run of the game. They strand a pair and go to the bottom of the 7th. Santa Barbara leading 18-1 over the Philippines.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Back at Eddie Matthews Field on the campus of Santa Barbara High School, 18-1 the Forster lead. And a new arm entering for the Philippines baseball group, Hunter Boylan, who worked 2 innings just 2 days back in the 5-1 victory for Santa Barbara. 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, and K-1 to finish out that ball game back on Friday.
Yeah, sidearm delivery. It was weird to face the batters. We got a new man coming in here. It'll be...
Now batting for the Foresters, number 31, Zeke.
It's going to be Zeke Adderley.
Traditionally a pitcher. Playing 2 ways here.
We've seen him a couple times during batting practice on select days. He's been able to mash some baseballs, that is for sure. He's going to take a first pitch strike from Boylan. 0-1. Sturs lead by 17, so Adderley, Kill, and Keithley's schedule. That's 1, 2, and 3 to face Hunter Boylan. Here comes the 0-1. It's going to be missing away, ball 1.
Yeah, Adderley, first at bat this season, committed to Maryland Eastern Shore after a very solid high school career here at Santa Barbara High School.
Adderley made his debut 2 days back on the hill for the Sturs, and he's now ahead 2-1 against Hunter Boylan.
Got some very emotional outs as well.
Yes,
you know, tough
big
situation
outs.
came in and was able to just kind of keep the game at like 4 or 5 run difference, and really good job. Got a strikeout as well, I believe.
Mm-hmm. As the 2-1 foul back for strike 2, and actually 2 Ks for Adderley in his inning, recorded 3 outs when he entered with a base runner at first base, and that was the point of the game where just a couple run lead for Santa Barbara. Philippines get 1 or 2 runs in that 7th inning. Could have been a different story 2 days ago. Away, ball 3, full count for the man in his first plate appearance.
How about the plate vision from the pitcher?
Love it.
So I'm sure he doesn't like me calling him that at the plate right now.
Familiar with this high school, was under Steve Shuck last year, I should say this year. 3-2. That's called strike 3 on the inside edge. Adderley's going to go down looking. 1 away in the 7th.
Unlucky for Zeke. That was a nice pitch by the sidearm. They're so tough to read. Hunter, we've seen the Stars struggle a bit against guys like Boylan.
And that's going to bring up Terrence Kill. 1 out, nobody on. That's Kill today. There's a big swing at the first pitch. Fly out to center. He's been hit by a pitch, scored a run. Also flied out to center in the 3rd. Line out into center in the 5th, and ground into an RBI fielder's choice. Also in the 5th inning. Here comes the 0-1. And that's in there upstairs, I should say, ball 1. And that is a good point, Nate. Not the typical delivery, and especially a lefty delivery from that angle. Really tough spot, and the Stars just haven't been able to see much of those type of arms throughout the season, really, through their careers. Here's the 1-1. Ball 2.
Yeah, Boylan, you know, not always was a pitcher, though. He was a 2-way player in high school, but committed to Chico State to play in the lineup, where he was kind of a first baseman, outfielder, very solid hitter as well, but transitioned to the pitching staff and has been there ever since.
Kill us up the 2-1 pitch for strike 2, up and over the first base dugout. In case you're wondering, Liam Keithley will be next. Bottom of the 7th in this big lead for Santa Barbara. Whenever this game does finish, positive vibes for the Stars going into the off day tomorrow, where they have a long trip down to Orange County on Tuesday. Then they'll have 5 home games next week. 2-2 is popped up and behind the plate. Maybe a chance for lead, but it will go out of play. To the bank to our right.
Boylan, you know, got a lot of great experience last summer, with the Medicine Hat Mavericks up in Alberta, Canada. Medicine Hat, Alberta, home of recent NFL draft pick Alec Ironmanner out of Stanford. Got
Nice
drafted
one.
by the Titans.
Still 2-2. Over to Malachi Lopez. Good throw from the shortstop. 2 down in the 7th. That's going to bring up Keithley to hit for the 3rd time today in the number 3 spot where Mumaw started. And that 3 spot, they haven't been retired today. Easton Mumaw, 1 for 1. 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and Keithley a base hit in the left first time up, and a walk and scored 2 runs. First pitch and over the first base dugout. That's strike 1.
Yeah, Keithley been a really good job, Came in later in the game, but he's still gotten on base twice, once via the hit, once via a walk, and he scored runs both times.
18 of them today for Santa Barbara. No, we were talking, well, you mentioned as well, the game against the Academy Barons, the 21 runs that the Sturs pushed in. The 0-1 will miss down and away, 1-1. Sturs have just been able to score in bunches on those occasions when you look back to that game down in Compton, also here today.
I think it's really nice every moment, after a couple of days where the bats were a little colder, it makes you feel a little bit more confident heading into the off day before you make the drive to the OC, where it was a close game for a lot of that time, 2 runs difference before kind of opened up in the latter half of the game.
It's now the strike 2 pitch to Keithley, well away, 2-2 now.
It is nice to kind of get those moments against affiliate teams like these, but the Riptide, that's a good lineup. They got a lot of talent in there. And the same can be said as the season goes on. First meetings against the Slow Blues next weekend.
2-2, misses away, full count. Also, at that point, Orange County in the season opener for the Sturs when they won 4-0, Orange County didn't have a lot of their guys that they're going to be using now as well. They were a little bit light on the front end, so a much different team on Tuesday. Count full. On the ground, outside of third, a worm burner, remains 3-2.
A worm burner. I like that.
I heard someone use that on the golf course once when they teed off, so kept in the back pocket.
Yeah, whenever I'm on the golf course, I'm used to those worm burners.
Actually, it might have been a 3-wood in the fairway that didn't get too high off the ground, but 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Keithley down on strikes. A 1-2-3 inning for Hunter Boylan. He Ks 2 to the 8th we go. Forsters on top.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Welcome back to Santa Barbara at Eddie Matthews Field. We'll have a pitching change for the Sturs. They lead 18-1. Easton Tumis will now have his second appearance of the year to relieve Kaimi Kahalakai, who went 3 innings after Frank Camarillo, the starter, went 4.
Yeah, Tumis appeared in Wednesday's game against Conejo. Now, second appearance. currently in the portal after a sophomore year at Texas where he didn't appear in a single game. Was very impressive his freshman year, though. Used a bit of a starter, 3-1 record. Did a great job limiting his walks as well. So
he's going to face 3, 4, 5. Kearney, Lee, Ferrante coming up to face Toomis. Here's the first pitch to Kearney. It's going to be in there for a strike. Second plate appearance of the day. Kearney finds himself out in right field defensively. Next pitch will miss inside. Even the count 1-1, ground into a fielder's choice back in the 6th inning. But the top of the 8th, Santa Barbara, very nice 18-1 lead after the Philippines got their first run of the game in the last inning. 1-1. That's ball 2.
The big thing as well for Toomis is that, first appearance a little tougher than he would have liked. A couple of runs given up. Gets the reset here in a game where runs are kind of out of the question. 17-run lead.
High chop. Here comes Toomis off the hill. He's going to field it, throw to first in time. Nice play by the reliever. Goes down 1-3 for the first out in the 8th.
You said pitchers aren't athletes, Hunter. Great play defensively by Easton. Play.
That's going to bring up Ben Lee. Ben at first, Ben the catcher. And so far today, he's 1 for 2. He's also been hit by a pitch. Stands in, bases clear, 1 out. That's going to miss. Good looking pitch. A little bit low from Toomis. Ball 1. The Sturs put up 4 runs in the first, 5 in the second, 6 in the 5th, and 3 in the 6th to amass their 18 runs. Here's the 1-0. Lee will take ball 2. In case you're joining us late, or even if you're sticking with us, we appreciate you joining us on the Forster Network. And today is an anniversary day, a big day in Forster baseball history. June 5th, 1991 was the first game ever being played by the current Santa Barbara Foresters, and as today's June 15th anniversary day. That is ball 3 from Toomis.
Yeah, really, really special moment, and what a way to celebrate it. Very similar to how that first day went. 11 runs put up in the first game of a doubleheader, where they put up 4 runs in the second. Flips that run total in just one game here today, Hunter.
It's 3-0 to the number 4 batter. That's ball 4 and a 1-out walk for Ben Lee. Third time today he's aboard.
Done it in a variety of manners as well. Of course, the hit last time up got hit by a pitch in the 4th, and now just based on balls with 1 out. Brings up Torrente with 1 on.
And the Foresters this year continuing to build up and try to peak in late July when they'll head to Wichita. But now batter is J.J. Torrente. Ropes it up the middle. A chance for 2. Klepp, Shruley, Hoover in time. 4-6-3 to eliminate the 1-out walk from Ben Lee. Easton Toomis only has to face 3. Bottom of the 8th we go. Foresters on.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Stefano Gonzalez will now take over the right-hander after Hunter Boylan a 1-2-3 7th. He's going to face 4, 5, 6 Hoover, Madrid, Murray, and Farr scheduled. And the first pitch, Caleb will be in there for a stripe, and what a day it has been for Caleb Hoover. 3 walks, 2 hits, an RBI, and 4 runs scored for the Santa Barbara first baseman.
Absolutely.
Good delivery.
Exactly what you want from your 4-hole guy. Just pass the bat around, advance the runners, and if he can score runs as well, that's just a plus.
0-2. That's away. Ball 1 is Gonzalez' first action of the day. He is the 5th man out of the bullpen after Daniel Naria got the start for this Philippines baseball group. 18-1, the Forester lead. 1-2 pitch outside of first base, and ricochets near the first base dugout. For Santa Barbara is housed. Remains 1-2.
Gonzalez wrapped up his year at L.A. Pierce. Went to Modern Day High School, a very solid athletic program down in the Los Angeles area.
1-2 is away. Change up away from Gonzalez. 2-2. And after Hoover will be Madrid Murray to hit for the second time. Here's the next pitch, and that is ball 3, full count for Caleb.
Hoover fought back, was down 0-2, and he's crawled his way back.
3-2 the count. Gonzalez deals a 3-2 pitch. That is ball 4, and Hoover does it again. 4th walk of the day to go along with 2 hits, an RBI, and 4 runs scored. That'll buff your on-base percentage. That is for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we know he does a good job of getting on base. Had an OBP above 500 this past year at Grayson College. And he gets on base yet again.
Here's Grant Madrid Murray. High fly ball in the right center field. Primanto moves in, and that ball is caught by the center fielder. Great grab, diving out into the gap, and Madrid Murray is retired for a loud first out as Hoover remains at first.
Yeah, really, really good. Really, really good catch right there by Primanto. Dove out, extended the arm, and it's the snag.
That brings up Sawyer Farr, who fouls off the first pitch. Strike 1. By the way, that walk by Caleb Hoover, the 17th walk given up today by Philippines pitching. Here comes the 0-1. That's a good delivery from Gonzalez. 0-2 on Farr, who's also had a very nice day. He's brought home 4 runs, just a single hit and 2 walks, and also an RBI on a ground out. 0-2 to the switch hitter. Swing and a miss, and Farr is down on strikes. 2 out in the 8th, and just the 3rd time a Forester has struck out today in all these plate appearances.
Yeah, and all of them.
Or their 4th time today.
That's been Good job limiting strikeouts from the team.
Here's the first pitch to Brady Dalmore. Hard hit ball up the middle. It gets through for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Brady to go along with 2 walks, and he's also brought home 3 runs today. So a 2-out knock for the DH to bring up Addison Klepsch. First and second, 2 down.
Something that Bill Pintard has really praised a lot this year is the Stars' ability to get 2-out hits. And Dalmore, even in a game where it's basically already decided, no different.
First pitch to Addison will be missing away. Good work by Ben Lee. And no, you did mention, Nate, the road on the road on Tuesday at Orange County, then the Slow Blues, and that's the big-time rival for Santa Barbara in recent memory. So the next pitch and foul back in the screen, especially in the early years of Santa Barbara. The Santa Maria Indians was one of the main rivals, and Stars haven't been playing the Indians in recent years. But the Slow Blues, looking back through the history books, the first 100 times that the two teams played, the Stars won 88 of the first 100 games. Here's the 1-1. This is high, ball 2.
Yeah, just really impressive record. You know, it's always fun. You know, they're the southernmost team in the North Division, kind of in no man's land, and Santa Barbara, the northernmost team in the Southern Division. I don't want to say we're in no man's land, but it's just definitely a lot different compared to where other teams are located in the division, mostly in kind of that LA metropolitan area. And here we are, just on the coast, more laid back vibe, more of a holiday spot, just a really different location.
It's now 2-2 for Klepsch, and that's away full count. Last pitch at 83 from Gonzalez.
Same can be said about the Blues, you know, and San Luis Obispo, most of the teams in the North Division in the Bay Area, that metropolitan section, and Slow, just 3 hours south of southernmost team in the Bay.
Swing and a miss, and Klepsch is retired. Second strikeout of the inning from Gonzalez. There's a leadoff walk, a base hit, but 2 stranded for the Stars as we head to the 9th inning. Santa Barbara leads 18-1 over the Philippines.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back at Eddie Matthews Field, Santa Barbara High School. Easton Toomas will look to close out this game. He will be facing 6, 7, and 8. Fang, Story, and Boxa will be scheduled. 18-1, the Forster lead.
Yeah, just really impressive day, Hunter.
Yeah.
Really, really impressive pitching staff and the bats both on. I'd say this is probably the most well-rounded game we've seen from the Stars all season because, you know, there's a couple times, you know, in the last game, excuse me, on Sunday against the Barons, where yes, the bats were hot, but then the pitching staff struggled a bit. But then, you know, this past couple games when the pitching staff was on, the bats couldn't catch up, and now you put the whole package together at the right time at the end of the week into the off day. It gives you something to celebrate as you head into the new week.
And here's Mason Fang to hit for the first time. He entered as a pitch runner. Will take ball 1. After Owen Stevenson worked a leadoff walk in the 7th, Fang came around to score the lone run of the ball game first plate appearance of the day.
Fang, one of those guys that can do it all for you. Utility, plays in the infield, outfield as well.
And he's going to take a strike from Toomis. 1-1.
Not much of a hitter those past year at Golden West College. Only hit 136.
18-1, the Forster lead. Comes the 1-1. Swing and foul tip back in the glove of Grant Madrid Murray. That is strike 2. Toomis will then face Story and Boxa. And here comes the 1-2 delivery. That's going to miss inside, a fraction high as well at 80 from Easton. 2-2.
Tried to get him front door breaking ball. Really like that idea from Easton.
And here comes the 2-2 to the leadoff man. And that's rolled towards the third base on deck circle. And it's 2-2.
Toomis comes from baseball lineage. His dad, Woody Williams, was a longtime major leaguer, reliever. Spent a lot of time with the Padres, an all-star with the Cardinals.
Another 2-2. Check swing, but called. Strike 3 and Toomis. Gets Fang looking 1 out in the 9th.
And we got to talk a bit with Woody earlier in the week, and he was like, he's a really good pitcher, and
Yes.
you see it right there. Toomis currently in the portal, as we mentioned. His dad coaching at Houston, where Toomis was originally committed.
There will be a pinch hitter for Hudson Story. Noah Peterson to hit out of the 7 spot. First plate appearance of the day as he is pinch hitting after Story going 2 for 3. Solid day at the plate. First pitch on the outside edge at 93, 0-1.
Peterson playing for a pretty storied JUCO program up in the Bay Area at College of San Mateo. Really, really pretty ballpark out there. It's where the Menlo Park legends of the North Division call home.
There's the 0-1 pitch. That is away for ball 1.
Kind of, joked about this a bit, talked about it a bit. It's just there's a lot of pretty ballparks in here, a lot of great backdrops. You see it right here at Eddie Matthews, the hills and the homes in the background. CSM, the field up there, it's a back. You can see the entire Bay Area.
Oh,
you
really?
You get the views of all the way to the East Bay. You just can't get a glimpse of any of the bridges, but still a really, really pretty spot to watch a ball game.
1-1 foul back by the pinch hitter Peterson. 1-2. I like how you did mention with Easton Toomis. A couple games back when he pitched with the Oaks, seen Woody Williams. Very nice conversation with that coach. It's now 1-2 to Peterson. Here's the pitch. And foul back again. Good battle between Peterson and Toomis.
Peterson, trying to prove his worth here after get too much run with the CSM Bulldogs. Only appeared in 10 games.
And now another 1-2 pitch to Peterson. That's going to hit him on the Evo shield on the right elbow. So with 1 out, a hit batter. And pinch hitting, he's able to reach base.
Now batting number 13.
Hit by a pitch brought to us by our friends at Alta Orthopedics.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
Of another pinch hitter hitting for the DH for Boxa. Swing and a miss on the first pitch.
CJ Linus coming in here. Plays for LA Pierce, the Bahamas. What a mascot, Hunter. The Bahamas.
I like it. Man at first, 1 out. Toomis looks for a ground ball. The 0-1 pitch. Big swing, strike 2.
I'm sure you like singing a massive swing in this like that, though.
And Elena's hitting for the first time today after Javen Boxa went 1 for 3. Brought home a run.
Good thing about these games where it's a big run difference. It allows you to bring guys. Maybe we're supposed to get an off day, keep them hot and ready for games, and no difference here for Linus and Bahamas, both of them not in the lineup. Bahamas, excuse me.
Ball and 2 strikes. CJ Alinas, man at first, 1 out. Comes a pitch from Tumis. Swing and a miss, and a great slide from Grant Madrid. Murray keeping the runner at first base. Second strikeout of the inning for Easton.
And a beautiful one swinging. Got him chasing on the slider there.
The Philippines down to their final out. Tyler Premonto stands in for the 4th time today. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. He's gone 0 for 3. Ground out the third, fielder's choice, and struck out swinging. Easton Tumis. Hit Noah Peterson with 1 out. Struck out Alinas. And now winds up the 0-1 to the number 9 batter. Strike 2. And the Philippines down to their final strike on the Sunday afternoon game. Tumis looks for 1 more strike. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and there's our ball game. Easton Tumis strikes out 3 in the 9th. Fantastic work in relief for Tumis. Kaimi Kahalakai is going to pick up the win, and a great pitching performance. But, of course, the offense for Santa Barbara, 18 runs on 11 hits, 17 walks today for the Sturs for an 18-1 victory.
The total package, Hunter. The bats were hot. Did a good job of passing them around, just working base hits and walks. Aggressive base running again, paying off for the Sturs. And then the pitching staff, really good job, you know, never really allowing the Philippines to stack base runners. Only, there was a couple of times where it was leadoff walks, but they just kept him at first a lot of the times. And then as the game went on, strikeout stuff starting to work, especially for Easton Tumis. 3 strikeouts, really solid performance in relief for him. So really, really well-rounded day for the Sturs.
Camarillo, Kahalakai, and Tumis, great work from the arms tossing today, and the Sturs take it 18-1 in their second game over the Philippines. They'll still have 1 more matchup against this affiliate later on in July. The Sturs have an off day tomorrow, on the road on Tuesday to Orange County, then 5 straight games next week. So if you're in the Santa Barbara area, come out and support the Sturs. They'll have a 5-game homestand starting Wednesday, spanning all the way to Sunday next week. Again, the final score 18-1. What a day to be a Santa Barbara Forester fan. For the entire team, the entire front office, for Nate Martin, I am Hunter Schmick saying so long from Santa Barbara. We'll see you on Tuesday when the Sturs are on the road in Orange County. We'll see you then.
Thank you.